Oh yeah, we can talk. It's got this new thing we're doing now, side by side. But there's no Ben Garrett today. He's still on vacation. We're here with Cole Gaddy. What's up, Cole?
What's up, man? How you doing?
Doing well, doing well. Getting ready to do this show. Getting my audio check on before I got started, so that's always a plus.
Yep.
And also just to make sure, yep, I'm in good.
There we go.
Yeah, last time it was basically the internal mic from the iMac. So you get all that hollow, echoey, feeling other stuff where this is direct right here. That's why I was saying your mic is pretty epic, man. Like it comes in really sharp. I like that.
Yeah, it's very clear. It's a good one. I got it a while ago, but I've been using it forever. It's nice.
Dude, I really like that No Country for Old Men poster. And I'm glad we picked these movies. These are awesome.
Yeah, it was a good time watching these two.
Yeah, there he is. Cole Gaddy, subbing in for Ben Garrett. Got the 6th Man of the Year award right here. He's carrying this team on his back because I have been dropping the ball. So, let's get the show started in 3, 2. Oh, wait, I gotta actually pause it. Oh, here we go. Hey, Cole.
What's up?
That's our intro, everybody. Hello, how are we doing? Welcome to Side by Side, the show where we take two movies that have something in common and we, I guess, discuss, explore. You see us talking about it. I am here today with Cole Gaddy. And we're going to take on two movies today by the Coen brothers, Ethan and Joel Coen. They're doing Fargo, 1996, and 2007's No Country for Old Men. Now, Cole, I'm actually playing the movie. I couldn't do this last time, but now I'm able to play the movie as I'm watching as we're doing the show. So
that's cool.
And we can go back and forth and talk about Fargo first or No Country for Old Men or any which way manner we want.
What order did you watch them?
I usually go the older one first, so 96 and 2007. So I did Fargo, then No Country. And by the way, I thought Fargo was like in 1992 or 93. No, it's 96. I was like, whoa.
Yeah.
Which ones did you watch first?
I watched No Country for Old Men first, and then I did Fargo right after. So I did both of them, but I did do No Country for Old Men first.
Yeah, I
had seen Fargo recently, but No Country for Old Men had been a while, so I was like, okay, we'll do that one first.
Man, I think honestly, I've seen it. I see that movie like 3 times a year, and this time, like I got so many because I watch different now when I watch a movie the way I did it because I watched it today I watched Fargo from like I wake up early, so I watched it like 3 to like 5 almost, and then I watched right back to back No Country like from 5 to 7, and dude, like No Country, like I picked up so many other things from it because I watched it so much. But Fargo, the way I break movies down, the way I dissect them nowadays, man, I didn't. The first time I saw Fargo, I think was on HBO or Showtime, and it was like on pay-per-view, and it was like I don't know, it was probably like 97, 98, and I saw it and I saw the movie, I liked it. I didn't really get it. I was able to keep up with it. But for the most part, watching it again, and I saw the movie probably like 10 years ago, where I actually saw complete. You know, they usually play this one at a bar, but but I watched it. I picked up a lot the first thing I picked up was the accent.
The it's funny. It's really funny.
When I first saw this, I didn't think it was like a big deal, but now I know, like, you know, slices of life and parts of the country and parts of the world. You know, they're all different, do their own thing, and I was like, dude, this is so cool how they captured this thing, how they made this movie.
And the Coen brothers, they're known for that kind of, they're very serious films, but they have this comedic undertone of some kind in a lot of their pictures. And that's why like True Grit had the funny little girl, you know, No Country for Old Men had the goofy Southerners, you know, because they're all, you know, like a bunch of...
I picked up on that this time around. Because I'm watching it now, picking up, because now when I watch a movie, like especially one I've already seen, I already know the story, so I'm just kind of going along with it, guiding with it. But then there's a certain point where I'm like, oh, how would you get this shot, or why does this part of the movie happen? Why and later now, like I was able to connect a lot of dots with No Country, because No Country is when we get to it, it's a lot different than because this was based off a real story. This really happened. Fargo. And the thing about this, I was actually going to do a little bit of research before we got on, but you were like, yo, let's do this podcast now. And I was like, well, my kid's asleep. Let's get on it.
Yeah.
And because, I mean, they're actually having a show of Fargo.
Yes.
And I don't know much about that, but I do know that here on Wikipedia, and I do know that the movie was based off a real story.
Mm-hmm.
So let's see if I can find something on that real quick. Well, I mean, no, it doesn't really. It's literally the movie. It's telling you the story, so I guess they don't have to put anything in here. But the thing I picked up a lot was like for sure the William H Macy character.
Yeah,
He's the
slimy bastard, dude. Fuck.
God, but you pick up a lot of like this is what I love about the Coen brothers, and they don't when we're talking about 50-50, like meet you in the middle last time, where it's like
Yeah,
they do like 20-80.
yeah.
Like you gotta like really know what's going on, and like the more like these movies are aging as I'm getting older, and I'm aging with them, and I'm understanding more or less what's going on now as an adult or older with a kid or whatever. But
Yeah.
when I see this stuff, I'm like, holy crap! Like Jerry is like it shows you all his antics, but like he's supposed to be a good guy. It's this clean cut, smiling gentleman.
Yeah,
And then
behind the scenes though, it's a completely different person.
and then you see the way like he like there's not like he's like an executive branch manager would be like someone
He's the executive sales manager.
sales managers.
Yeah.
So I would say like that should be a high position. And even right here, I'm at the part where that guy's like pissed off because he got in the wrong car, and he's just this sad pouty face to get out of that little because he still buys a car from him.
He put the true coat. Put the true coat on, and he's pissed off about the true coat.
And then everyone's pissed off about that. And also too, the other guy, he goes in to see the other car later, and he's like, "Oh, I don't need that true coat." Like, it's funny how I don't know. It's the way this story is told. Like it's got the humor, but it's got the darkness. Like you said, it's kind of like
it's very serious too. Like when you get down to because like arguably, I would think I mean, of course, Javier Bardem is the fucking Iceman in No Country for Old Men, but whoever the guy is that played the assistant to Steve Buscemi, he's an Iceman too.
Yeah,
like that dude just. I mean, when he shot the cop, I mean, he didn't. There's
Peter Stormare.
That's his name.
Yeah.
I also wanted to say real quick, just to get it off, because like it's interesting to me when I was watching it today. There's a movie called Good Time with Robert Pattinson in it, and that's the Safdie brothers. A lot of brothers. Okay, but the Safdie brothers made this movie, and there's a scene in it where at the end where Robert Pattinson is riding in the back of the cop car and you can see him through the cage and he has these he dyed his hair blonde,
right? I haven't seen that movie,
it's
but I know
all
what you're
messed
talking about.
up, and it looked just like the end of Fargo when they have him in the back seat with the hair all messed up, and it's the same color. I really think that they might have drawn inspiration from Fargo because that shot was like 1-to-1.
Yeah. And I haven't seen that movie, but I kind of want to see it because of the blonde hair. Robert Pattinson.
Good. I love Rob, so Rob's one of my favorites. So,
and then also, man, I was gonna say, watching Fargo first, and like already knowing the story a little bit, like I kind of the gaps got filled a lot for this one, but No Country I already knew. They're very similar stories, very very similar.
They're very similar, and I think it's interesting that one takes place in the snow, and then the other's in the desert, and they both evolve around money. And in the end of both films, there really is no positivity. And I find it interesting, really, that the law kind of takes a back seat in both films. I don't know if the Coen brothers are saying that the law is lazy or that, it could also be that they're exploring the human mind and just what we do to each other, criminally, because they explore crime a lot.
So like in Fargo, you have the
Frances McDormand.
So she doesn't even come in. Dude, the hero doesn't. I don't even know if she would be the hero. I mean, I guess she would. I don't know who.
Kinda,
because like she kind of just pops in and then does her thing.
At the very end. At the very end.
It takes like 30 minutes for her to get into get in the movie. Like it's. I'm sorry. It's the end of the first act by the time she's introduced. So that's already something different in a storytelling, like the structure, Yeah. Because at this point, Tarantino already made Pulp Fiction, and that thing's all over the place. And then you have movies like Slacker, and then you have other movies like even like Clerks. They're all told their own certain way. This one is like I can feel like the time passing. I can feel like where the story. Like if someone would tell me this, like just tell me the story, not even the movie. Tell me, I feel like, oh, okay, I could see that. I could follow it easier.
It's interesting because you kind of jump from lead characters in a sense, because it seems like Jerry is kind of the main character at first, because you're kind of getting a look into his shit, and then it kind of switches, and then you get kind of you get some with Steve Buscemi and the other guy, and you kind of see a little bit of them too. And then you go to Frances McDormand and her, and then you get some of her life too. But it's kind of like a big mixing pot of stories. You don't,
Yeah.
there's no real central character. I don't feel like there is. It's kind of more of just like showing the events happening, you know. We don't get too much time with the dad in
No.
Fargo, which obviously, you know, but man, William H. Macy's performance as Jerry was is so good. He's so good at just that slick talking. Like he wasn't even slick though. That's the thing is he was just like I don't know how to explain it. He's just like a weasel kind of, just like a
Yeah. Well,
fucking
the thing is, it's the thing with me. I pick up on that is that he's so slimy that he looks clean.
yeah.
That
He's
that you that
really he's
and
really bad.
and you just see his actions and it pisses you off. So and he does portrays such a great job at it. You think
Mm-hmm.
that you're like, oh, you're acting. You're doing such a great job. That's because
Yeah.
I think you're like that, but he's not. He's good. William H Macy's a really good actor.
Yes, Steve Buscemi caught me off guard too, because it feels like a Buscemi role that's like part of it is like what Steve Buscemi always does,
Yeah,
but like he feels very like cold in some of it, but then very funny in other parts of it. Like when he's talking to the other guy in the car and they're trying to have conversations and stuff while they're driving, he's just doing all the talking. And the dude, I think the only thing he really asked for is pancakes in the movie at
yeah,
one time in the car, and then
and then the part where right before he kills the what's Steve Buscemi's character's name? I already forgot it. Right before
which one?
Carl, right before he kills Carl, when I think the guy's name was his name. It's Greer is the guy's
Is
name or
that
Gare?
Buscemi? Buscemi? He killed Buscemi?
Yeah, Buscemi's name is Carl, and then Peter's name is Guy. It's Gaear. Gear.
Gear. Oh, okay.
Gear.
He's like, I think he's German or
Yeah,
something.
so he's Gear, and right before Gear kills Carl, you even hear Carl say, "This is that funny part where he says, you've been yapping your ass off. I've been yapping for all week,' and he doesn't even talk. Like
Yeah.
he was telling you, you've been talking all week,' and I was like,
Yeah.
he didn't say shit. But that's
And
just
then there's like that part where he's like, you know what? Then I won't talk either. He's like total silence. Then he'll like stop talking for 2 seconds. Then he'll continue to talk because he can't shut the fuck up.
yeah, it's like that one little thing that always happens. Like, oh, you can't. I don't bet. You don't bet. I bet you can get you to bet by the end of the day. Oh, you can't get me to bet. I bet you can't. I bet you can't. I bet you. You know, it's like
Yeah, it was funny. He was good. They did a good job with the two criminals.
I even think
Um,
it's even funny right before they kidnap the wife, which he has like a small role in it. But
yeah,
he literally walks up to the window with a mask on, and he
yeah, and
puts
just
it, and then he like kind of and he hits it. It's Steve Buscemi's character Carl, and he does it, but it's like she doesn't even like acknowledge it. And the
she's
part
not worried until the glass
the
breaks.
breaks, yeah, like I would have already been like, yeah, no, this ain't going down. And then I guess
No,
it's Midwest thinking like she looks like she's all she looks like a deer in the headlight. And then
yeah,
they have the scary scene too is I forgot, you know, there's wireless cordless phones, and she's in the restroom, and as
they
she's
pull the phone, they yank
pulls the
it.
phone, man, that was like
Yeah,
that's a scary moment. Like you're like, all right, I can call the
hmm
cops. And never mind. Like,
yep,
you know,
yeah. And then No Country for Old Men set in the 80s, so it
yeah.
has this old time. You know, it's different technology back then. You didn't have police the same way, and especially not where they're in Marfa, I think they're in, I don't know exactly where the film is set,
Del
but
Rio is what they
anyway,
call it.
yeah,
They call
but
it. They say. Well, actually, it moves around, but
mhm.
that's what I was saying. The city of Del Rio. I got a joke, but we keep going.
But yeah, both films have this. They're set in a time period where police work is just different, and so you just didn't have
Well,
the immediate response that you would today.
they even because even by going to the '80s, you get away from that like that 911 call, and then
Hmm.
you get away for sure social media. Like you don't have to write about that because it doesn't exist. And use
Yeah,
the time they've already lived, so they already know how it looks. So it's like I was thinking about that while I was watching this movie. I was like, man, I
and
could
they
live.
only call on payphones, so
Yeah, it's for a long time, even like now, I have family members that'll call me and be like, "Hey, are you gonna be home later?" I'm like, "Yeah, okay, I'm gonna call you." Like, well, we're talking now, but like that's because that's like and then they're older family members, and I realized I was like, it's because they have to be on the phone. You have to be by the phone. The phone didn't go with you, so it's like
yeah.
it's an old habit that they have.
Hmm.
Did Aguirre, did he kills the wife, right?
Guillermo del Toro?
No,
Or
no,
no, no.
the guy, the character.
Oh, yeah, he killed her just
But
because he said she got annoying or something.
so
She was just dead on the floor.
he just killed her. All
Yeah.
right, there's
And then
okay.
he just killed Steve because I don't know, he was offended he didn't split the car or something.
Yeah, and that was weird. That's always like because have you seen this movie called $20 or 20
Mm-mm.
bucks? It's
No.
Steve Buscemi's in it, and it's literally I mean like Matt Fuhrer's in it, Brendan Fraser, and it has it's about literally you follow a $20 bill through the story. And I
Hmm.
think it's from 1990, the movie, or 88, one of those. It's early, or 92. It's early 90s. And
Yeah.
Steve Buscemi plays kind of like a sleazebag character like this too, and you kind of want him to get gutted, get it at
Hmm.
the end, and he
Hmm.
does it again for this one, and it's like, man, he still has that you're right, like the way he portrays his character, like he's cool enough to be like I want you around, but then after a while,
But
oh
then
I had
he's
enough.
like not
Yeah,
cool.
yeah,
Yeah.
his actions and what he does and how he talks. It's like, oh, you've had enough of you. Like he's like you kind of just want to talk to him. You could take him in small doses, I guess is what I'm trying to say.
And then there was like he was living with Shep, and Shep kind of set all this up with
Okay, you
William
connect.
Macy, and then but then they got fucked because he had to kill the cop. Well, the other guy just killed the cop. Like, I mean, he kind of had to though. If he wouldn't have done that, they would have been in prison. Like,
Well,
because
that's
the girl was like in the back, like making
yeah.
noise. So there was kind of no thing. And then the other people drove by, see them with the dead cop, and they had to go kill those people. It just got so bad so
It
fast.
turns into one of those. I gotta kill you because you know now. I gotta kill you because you know because I killed that person. It's a
Yeah.
chain. That must suck. When I saw that, I remember being like, oh shit, that would suck. You're just driving home and this shit happens and someone chases you down. I mean, they
But and
did.
then like Buscemi murders people too, and I think it doesn't really show much of it on screen, which I thought was interesting because they show you the other guy killing people. When Buscemi kills people, though, it's kind of off screen.
Yeah,
Like
wait.
he shot the parking clerk, he killed that
Oh
guy.
yeah, he does kill him. See,
He shot the dad.
the dad.
He kills people like he's just as bad, kind of, but they kind of play it like it's not like he's not as bad like
But
as the other guy, but they're
I,
both pretty bad.
I did want to say you're right about that. I wanted to bring that up, and good thing you brought it up because I probably forgot the story.
Hmm.
That like the thing. One thing I love about the Coen Brothers, you have to fill in the story yourself. Like they
Yeah.
don't show you it, but you know it, and that's I like that the little Easter eggs kind of. I don't know what they are.
I love all through the whole movie. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. It's so funny when
dude.
she went and talked to those prostitutes, and the prostitutes
Yeah,
are
go
like,
Bears.
and then
Uh,
she's like, I don't know, he's just funny looking. She's like, do you know
well, that's
how
like
he was funny looking?
they both have that small town talk. Like they,
Yeah,
and then
yeah.
I'm like, man, I do. I go all over the place, and I always feel like I see it now. I feel it. And I'm older now. I'm like, oh, I just can't deny it. Some people do talk and act like that. There's some when I was in Austin, and I mean I've been in Austin, but like when I was in my early 20s and mid 20s, I'd meet girls from like Minnesota over there,
Mhm.
from Wisconsin, and they didn't sound like that. But after a while, like after hanging out, we're dating, and I'd be like, hey, I've always heard, I've never been to that area, but I hear that oh, you want me to talk like that? Like they would do it, and it would sound
Yeah.
like exactly like Fargo. I'd be like, oh my god, like
Mhm.
yeah, we sound like that over there. I was like, holy shit, it's funny. Like, cause on the border, it's a little different. It's the Cheech Marin, like, hey, what's up? But over there, it's a little, they got a
Yeah.
different thing. But you also,
Yeah.
what's up?
Oh, I was gonna say, I just think it's cool because kind of, and that's what I thought was more okay. I wanted to bring this up because I thought it was very interesting to me. I found Fargo to be funnier than No Country for
Oh
Old
yeah,
Men,
by
but
far.
I think though part of that has to do with the fact that I am from the South and from Texas. Because I bet you people in Minnesota that watch Fargo, they probably don't laugh that much because it's probably, I mean, yes,
Oh, it
it's
hits hard. It hits
overplayed.
home.
It's
It hits hard.
overplayed a little bit, I'm sure. Like they overdo it a little bit, but I really feel like my Southern, because but like I bet you Northerners that watch like No Country for Old Men, you see these, the Southern people in that movie, they're also goofy. Like they are
Yeah,
funny. Like when he has that encounter where he's like, you've been putting it up your whole
the
life, you
quarter.
just didn't
Yeah,
know it. Yeah, all that stuff. I mean, they do portray them to be funny. Like the one lady, she's like, well, that's got two double beds.
yeah,
It has that Southern charm to it, but we're used to that. So
yeah. I mean, that's why. I mean, I'm on the border right now, and that's why like people talk about bad about the border all the time. They've never been here. They've never
yeah,
come over here. They never step foot. They see whatever they see on the internet. They see whatever they want on the TV,
yeah.
and they're like, I mean, people tell me to my face, I'm like, you're going down the border. It's so scary. I'm like, I was just there last week. I'm just going with family. It's like
Yeah, I mean, there are
oh,
parts of it you want to avoid, but it's
anywhere,
not
but in
like the
any
whole place is just like that, you know?
anywhere you go. Like I remember in
Yeah,
the
exactly.
in the 2007s, the 2010s, I was hanging out at this wine bar a lot, wine lounge, and a lot of the conversations I would meet people that like they flew to Mexico all the time, and they'd come back with these like people would be like, "Why are you going to Mexico? It's dangerous," and they just like lay in the people that would tell them that's dangerous. They'd be like, "Did you know that Los Angeles bike per capita has more murders and thievery than Mexico does? Quit talking bad about Mexico." I'd be like, "Oh crap!"
Hmm.
Like I'd see them like defend it, and I'd be like, "Well, that's pretty cool that they're living through experience and letting someone else through secondhand experience or secondhand knowledge or thirdhand knowledge be like no." But that's, I think that the whole thing about this story, it shows that it's like it is kind of like a little slice of life and showing us a little bit how life is in these certain areas.
Hmm. Yeah,
For that move, the one thing I did, just the film aspect, there's no real music in No Country for Old Men, and
that's
there's
true.
and it
Very,
gives.
very little.
I picked up on that this time because I noticed that Fargo does have music. No Country for Old Men has score. I think that's why they call it score
Hmm.
because it
It's
doesn't.
like There Will Be Blood. Like it had a soundtrack, but it's not really a soundtrack. It
Yeah,
was like a tinkering of metal tools and
yeah.
like sounds being made, but it wasn't exactly. It's like The Witch. Have you seen The Witch?
I have not seen The Witch, but I've seen I saw the shorthand. Like I saw somebody break it down, and so I haven't
They
seen it,
made a
but
sound machine for that film specifically. It's like a wooden box with a bunch of metal things like, welded to
yeah,
it and screwed into it. And it was just meant to make the most scary sounds ever. But it's not like an instrument. They like
yeah,
made it just for the movie. But like that's how they made the entire score, was using this box.
yeah.
But
And I'll even
yeah.
say about No Country. Even just looking at the posters, the Fargo one, it does even look a little bit more comedic. Where the No Country looks kind of serious.
Hmm. Yeah.
Like I think I uploaded. Let me show you the one I did for my. I think I uploaded it. Let me see if it's here. Yeah, like, check this out. For my movie La Abuelita, I'm doing the Indiegogo and the crowdfunding, and I kind of did it like kind of did a little bit like that.
Hmm. I see that. That's pretty cool.
No, it's kind of like that. I was like, oh, check it out, and there's my shop right there, the one on the left. But I
I like the
think
old style what is it? Text that you
yeah,
used. It
the
felt like it's
50s
like it's in
horror.
a yeah, exactly. Like it's in a newspaper or something.
Yeah, I don't have a budget, so I'm basically gonna have to shoot it with a 50s style budget. But I mean, just it's something you can do with like to make your movie better score. I honestly like they always talked about in film school, audio being the or like yeah, audio being the redheaded stepchild. They always make fun of it like that. But I'm like, nah, that's like my
Audio
firstborn.
is like super important. Yeah.
I think audio brings you in. Like if you can have crap visuals or you can freeze, but if you have the audio coming in nice or you can feel like it makes it intensifies everything. It makes the
You
room.
also set like serious tones with it, you know? I mean,
Hmm.
like you could have like imagine, watching a very serious scene and then take the music out of it. It'd be
Yeah,
weird. You wouldn't have the, because it's like it goes to the acting,
yeah,
like, that's why when you see those videos where people like take laugh tracks and put it over serious stuff or whatever the hell, like
yeah.
it's goofy because it's very important.
One of my favorite ones is they take the wrestling commentators like Jerry Lawler and they put it like over like a real fight, like a World
Oh,
Star or whatever, or like
yeah,
Ghetto Brawl or something. And they'll put it over there, and it's like it's somebody just recording off their phone. So I'm right here where he's about to shoot the cop in the head, and that
yeah.
$50 bill. Do you think that still
Oh,
works?
that
Like,
was so stupid. That was so stupid. When I saw him do that, he should have just said, "Fuck it, I'll put the tags on," and put the tags on.
yeah,
But I don't know what he was thinking with the 50. I mean, for one, it's only $50, and for
yeah.
two, like I don't
Even
know, I didn't feel it was necessary.
yeah, it's kind of like an old like slimy like a little way to get
It just
somebody.
caused more problems in the end, and then.
I'm always wondered like usually on small roles like that. I want to look into it. The guy who got shot in the head. It's usually like a sound guy or like a PA or not. Sorry, I'm sorry. Like a costume designer. It's always somebody that's like that has like a. I would say not PAs don't really get that much love, but like someone like that, like an executive or somebody that just has they give them a tiny little role instead of going
Yeah,
and casting it. They just put it in there, and I
of
always like
course.
that. But I was like, I always wonder because there's a lot of few characters like in this movie. Because just like in No Country, the older woman, the one that is actually where Llewellyn lives. She's when Javier Bardem, what's his name, Shigor, when he gets there, and Anton when he gets into the that place and he asks for
Where
where
Llewellyn is.
Lua lives. That lady, my aunt knows her. So she's like she's been in other movies. I think she's also been in Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
That's cool. Yeah,
That's pretty.
my aunt got to work on the set of some of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre movies. So it's,
Yeah. I mean, that was like when that movie came out when I was a kid, and it said a story from Travis County. I was like, oh, my aunt lives in Austin. That's Travis County. I would want to go
yeah,
there.
back when they could just like blatantly lie about shit and just throw stuff on screen that's not even true,
Well,
really.
they're still doing that. They are still doing that 100%.
Yeah,
Don't get
yeah.
fooled. Even like this as ironic as I was dumb this is about to sound like even like I saw a video of Britney Spears saying like people are coming up to like Cher and Madonna and me and telling asking if they're like writing their autobiographies or like the movies and they're like but they're not real. They're like so exaggerated. Like those aren't like
Yeah.
they're
Well,
like
everything I know everything's exaggerated.
yeah.
There's no way in hell.
So it's like yeah, they're like they're not even close to reality. Did y'all like? I'm just gonna make my own. I think you see something like that. But like, so when you saw the car come off the when they're getting chased and you saw, did you know what happened to it or no? Like I thought
Oh,
maybe it
when
got
it kind of
away.
like got swept off the road, kind of.
Yeah,
I figured like when I saw it happen, it seemed like they either missed a turn. That's what I thought, where it's like the road went like this, but
yeah.
they went straight and just like drove off of the
Uh,
road, and that's what I thought happened, which I guess is kind of what happened. But
cause
I
yeah,
just know that the car was rolled, and then but that
so
dude
there.
was merciless. He just shot that lady in the face
Did you even hear
that
what
was in
the
the car.
what she said? It was a defensive wound. Like she put her hand up to block it.
Yeah, yeah.
That's even informative. But even like this part, as you're pulling up, like man, I don't know if you saw somebody like this is where side by side gets funny. If you saw something like that and someone in the snow is chasing you, would you? Because if you watch this movie, would you have an awareness and like be careful of black ice and not? Do you have to like go slow?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, hopefully I wouldn't see some shit like that, but
No,
normally,
I'm saying in the event in a fictional world and you were in Fargo and you saw that, how would you handle that? How would you?
I don't know. I guess I would just I mean, you kind of know, well, you're kind of fucked and you have to kind of know that. Like it's either you like I don't know, cuz you can't drive slow cuz they're chasing you, so there's no, like then they want to kill you anyway. So,
Yeah.
I don't
The
know.
the crazy part is the lights, the headlights. You know, like I'm like you got because you got to turn yours off, but it's weird. Like flipping. I've been in a car that hydroplaned 360, and that was pretty damn scary when you lose
Yeah.
like completely control or like I mean
Yeah, I've done that before.
in the passenger seat it's scarier than the driver's seat for some reason I feel like when I have my hands on the wheel like I'm not gonna like even if I hit I'm like I don't know but I feel like when I'm just like in the passenger seat like whoa um I it's yeah the I've also been in my truck I had like an old beat up truck and like I would be at like it'd be raining in Austin or it'd stop raining and the floors or the streets would be wet and then all of a sudden I'd give it gas and my truck would just go like go like I'm like oh this is embarrassing why is this going on like but just going like a whole circle crack me up
Yeah.
but I let me turn that off I think for the most part this movie is it's very palatable as in the sense of it has so much to offer
Yeah.
like it's also like the main like I like the way the main character she well I don't know you're right it's not there's no main character but the way
I
Marge
like the Okay, go ahead. I'm sorry.
I was gonna say the way Marge is able to like to click everything right away and
Hmm.
then the her partner doesn't get it he tries
Yeah.
to and then in No Country
Yeah, it's
the
the same
senior
Willie. I
yeah
think it's Willie was the deputy's name that was his like the
yes
idiot. Yeah. And I like that what was it? Oh, I liked it at the very end. You find out that he got the 3 cent postage stamp. Her husband in the
yes
drawing. They let it's like they let everything get kind of wrapped up. They didn't leave you wondering about anything. You even learned that Francis McDormand's husband got the 3 cent stamp.
yeah like he's still yeah you're great it's just a little and it's even nice the way he's like I felt like I was like that during the pregnancy where he was like let me make you breakfast let me do this let me do
Yeah,
and then she even like I like that scene he's sitting down he's eating and she walks out starts the car and comes back and says the prowler needs a kick and then you find out the prowler is like, I mean they educate you the prowler is just a car it's just the
yeah,
cop cars like
yeah,
if you don't need to know what a prowler is I mean it makes sense you would there's snow you know terrain and whatnot the tundra But man, I could not live in that area. All that snow, like I do. Like, even what happened to us last year with the snowpocalypse, like
Yeah.
I don't know where you were at in that thing, but
No, I know where Ted Cruz was heading.
vacation. I think for the most part, like going to like the snow like that, man. I've walked, like I could see how like things happen because I've walked like, what do you call it, in that snow. I walked for like, I don't know, a good 10 minutes, and I was exhausted, and I realized, oh man, I got to turn around and walk back. Like, there's always
Yeah.
a start point that you have to go back to, and so the
Yeah,
snow.
when Buscemi has that fucking bullet wound in his face, and he's got napkins or whatever the hell, like tissue paper, toilet
Yeah,
paper or some kind, and he's just digging in the snow with his bare hands, and I know damn well like his hands are fucking frozen.
yeah.
Like, and then he gets back to the place and he's like, I've been up for 46 fucking hours. Like I was like, Jesus
Well,
Christ.
he had the snow. He gets it. Like, he gets it. He just puts it on there, packs
Yeah,
it on. I
yeah.
wonder if that was the actor's decision or director's decision, because that looks
I
kind
don't
of an
know.
actor's decision. Like, an actor, like, to go, what would you do if you're shot? Because remember, in reality, he's not bleeding. But what would you be doing if you
Yeah,
were bleeding in real life? So he's like,
yeah.
he put ice and snow on it. It's all dirty. Just, but also the point where he buries the money and he looks around and he realizes, oh, it all looks the same.
Yeah, he
Uh,
stabs the little ice
yeah.
thing in the ground as if that would fucking do anything.
So is the money still out there? Did somebody find it? That's another thing
I
we
would
gotta
guess that it's probably still out there
still
unless
out.
someone, stumbled upon it. But,
Well,
I guess in the spring it melts.
it melts.
So
Yeah, so I'm pretty sure like it's either evaporated or I don't know. That's kind of funny. Like, what happened to that? But a lot of the snow. It's a big deal in this. Like, they emphasize like how deep and heavy the snow. They remind you, even when he's in the
all the
parking lot.
coats they wear are huge coats.
And then he goes in the parking lot. It's a $4 minimum, and he's all pissed off. Like, he's like such a
Yeah.
crook. He's like,
He's saying, fucking king of the clip-on tie, huh?
but so
He's
do you think the fact that, because he still breaks through, like, if you notice that the arm in the parking lot was broken, so he drove through it, so
Yeah.
he shot the attendant.
Yeah, he shot him and then broke through,
Do
yeah.
you think it was a hate from earlier, from the other parking attendant, that he just shot him?
I don't know. It might have been the same parking attendant. I'm not sure if it was, but I just know, well, with Steve Buscemi's character, we know, like, if you're in his way, I mean, he shot the dad and the dad had the money. Like,
That's true. Oh yeah, I didn't even think about it. He wait. Why does he shoot him? Like, he
because
just.
it wasn't Jerry. Because Jerry set all this up. It was
That's
Jerry's
right.
thing. And then like the dad once Jerry takes, and then Jerry, we didn't. I want to talk a little bit more about William H. Macy. That character is fucking nuts. Like, when he went to with his business proposal, and he was like, "You're not going to give me all the money so that I can buy
Yeah,
it."
that
And
was
then
crazy.
I was like, "What the fuck?"
Who
And
would give you
then
seven hundred and
and
fifty
then
thousand dollars
and
cash?
then like 75 grand. He could have walked away with 75 grand, but instead he walked away with nothing,
Well,
and then was mad about it.
you understand why though?
Well, yeah, because he needed it for, I
Those
know why.
the cars. So
Yeah,
they
yeah,
he's three hundred
because
and
he had a
twenty in the
loan.
hole. Yeah, so he's 320 in the hole, and that's God, that
Technically, it's like 380 because he promised them 80,000 total. So he had 300 on the cars, and then 80 owing them. So
are you
he
talking
was
about
like
the
the
crooks?
hitman. Yeah,
Oh
the
no, but
hitman that
yeah,
he hired
yeah,
for his wife.
that is true. That is true. Well, it was only 40
So
because it was supposed to be 40. He was still trying to make money off that too. He was
no,
supposed to
because it
get
was 40 each. Remember, he gave him 80, and then each got 40.
no, but before the phone call, it's 40. It's 40 for them and 40 for him, and then he says we want it
Uh,
all. So
okay, okay,
so
okay.
he basically, like, think about how much of a crook he is. Not
Yeah,
only is
because he
he
was gonna
trying,
take $1 million,
he was gonna
and
con
he
the
was just
Connors. Yeah, the con.
yeah,
Oh, that's true. He was gonna take $1 million
yeah, he
because
was
he.
gonna take the million.
Oh, check it out. So he was.
Yeah, so
Ah,
he was playing it. It's like he just didn't play his chips. He didn't let people know what he had,
yeah.
but it all blew up in his face because he's a fucking idiot.
Well, I mean, that's the way we wouldn't have a story without this dumbass. So it's actually works out for us.
Yeah,
Lumberg.
I love
But it,
the part where you first kind of meet the criminals and they're in the bar. Comes
she
to
made
sit
us.
down. Oh, Shep said 7:30, and he's like, we've been waiting here a fucking hour, asswipe. Like, what are
Yeah,
you?
like that already shows you how much of a piece of shit he is. He can't even show up
Yeah.
to, like, for the appointment he arranged. Oh, that does piss me off. Like, if I do it, I forget, I mess up. I'm like, damn it, I overbooked or something, or I'm tired, I fuck up. But whenever somebody like gets mad and they're like, hey, you're the one that freaking
set all
Pick the
this
time.
up.
Set those up. One of the the things I liked about I just figured out right now. I kind of had a question and you answered it for me. So the reason that Carl and Jerry meet is because of Shep, right?
Yeah, because Shep is a auto mechanic at the
A
dealership
dealership.
that he works at, and
And
Shep, I think, was involved in that car scam that he was trying to pull with the VIN numbers.
oh, that's true. And then
Because
also
Shep's like a criminal and a known criminal, and he's on parole, they said, and
but Shep is also the roommate of Carl. Is that what you
yes,
said? Okay, so
yes, they
that's how I
live
got.
together.
So they live in that shithole.
Yeah, that fucking shithole that he took that prostitute out. I love he's like at dinner with that prostitute, and she's like, "What do you do for work?" And then he's like,
You can't even put
"So
it
yeah, have you ever been to this place before?" And
like
then he's like, "You find that work interesting, do you?" And
I,
she's like, "He's a customer though, so it's like what the fuck."
and then the son Scotty. I remember him from a movie called because I was like, where did I know him from? He's from this movie called Sorority Boys. He plays one of the younger brothers, like one of the frat brothers' younger brother, but he's like a dumbass. But he's always trying to get laid and he can't get laid.
Mm.
Oh, so it says here his name's Tony Denman. He's an actor, writer, and art director. That's cool. I always like it when people branch
Weird.
off.
Yeah.
And they still stay in the still stay in the film world, but they do other things. Did you catch that the receptionist at and there's a lot of them at the hotel at the Radisson? Did you catch that they don't have the accent?
Oh no, I didn't catch it, but it might have been to represent that it was like
Growth.
someone outside of. Uh, I love the little story plot they did with Francis McDormand and that Asian guy, where
Oh, Steve
he
Park. That's the actor's name. He was
yeah,
actually from In Living Color. I think he's like on the last season. I remember when I saw him, I was like, "Hey, that's Steve Park."
that
He's
was
a
cool
comedian.
because he was like yeah, it reminded me a lot. I don't know if you saw Squid Game, but there's a
Nah, I
character in
haven't seen it.
Squid Game where he like owes a fuck ton of money. His mom thinks he's in college in America, like and like his like a successful like in college and whatnot.
Yeah.
And but in reality he's still living in the town that he's from and hiding from her, and he's like in a shit ton of debt and stuff like that. But
Okay. Oh,
but
okay.
yeah,
I think I know the premise of that movie. I'm gonna watch it eventually, pretty
it's
soon.
a show. Yeah, it's a show.
Oh, it's a show.
It's on
Uh,
Netflix. Yeah, it's a
yeah,
South
because
Korean show.
that's why I haven't got into it because I can't binge series right now. I can
It's
only do
really good.
movies.
But yeah, but
Yeah.
we'll get back to that. But yeah, it reminds me a lot of that character. Just
Oh, okay. Check him out.
yeah,
Yeah, I'm over here on Steve Park's. I see Park on his what do you call it on his IMDb, and it's pretty cool. I mean, he has like Fargo, Falling Down, Do the Right Thing, State of Play.
Falling Down. I haven't seen Falling Down yet. That's Michael Douglas, right?
Oh yeah, that's my first movie that I bought on iTunes whenever I can get it on my phone. I just bought it was like for like $3.99 and I really wanted to watch it and so I bought it. And then the next one I bought was Transformers and I told it to my buddy and my buddy goes,
Michael
"Well,
Bay.
man, no Transformers the 1986, not the
Okay.
yeah no I'm into the cartoon ones, not the Michael Bay. Ugh. It's I mean I love
He
Michael
made
Bay's.
one good movie.
I
He
think he
made
made
one good one. Do you know which one that is,
The
though?
Rock.
The one with The Rock and Falcon from the Avengers and
Oh, you're talking about
Mark
Pumping Iron.
Wahlberg. Get Hard.
Or Get Hard. No,
No,
it's called
that's the Will Ferrell. That's the Will Ferrell movie.
no, that movie's okay. No, you gotta. The Rock is a good action movie.
The Rock.
Um, the Rock. It's just Rock. It's called. I think it's because it's the Alcatraz one. Let's look up Michael Bay
Okay.
real quick. I haven't. I'd never look him up. Just
What is
no.
that? What is that fucking movie called with Mark Wahlberg? Now it's gonna bother me.
It's called. I know what you're talking about. I saw it. I thought it was okay. I didn't think it was a good one. I didn't think
I
it was
thought
like.
it was funny. I thought it was really goofy.
Yeah,
Like
see,
it was like it had
uh,
like a, but it's fucked up. That movie was fucked up.
you know what? It's because I'm predating your birth. That's why I'm like this movie. I like you gotta. You weren't born when this movies were around. He did. I got it right here. It's called. Where are you at? Where are you at? Somebody's already pissed off. Pain and Gain.
Pain and Gain. There we go. Yeah.
Yeah. Damn, he's got 59 credits as a director. I haven't even seen. I haven't heard him. Okay, so here's a big old jump. So he did. Oh yeah, no, he's been pretty solid. That's like
Who
03,
did
05.
who did
Oh,
Speed? Is that
the
the
movie with
bus one?
Keanu Reeves.
It's like a bus, right?
John Woo, I think, did that one.
Okay.
Let me make sure. Now I need to know. Yeah, that Speed's the bus. So yeah, Speed and Speed Two. It's a no, it's a John DeBont movie.
Mm.
Writer Graham Yost. Why did I think it was Jonathan Yu? I mean, whatever. Yeah, Speed is a young police officer must prevent a bomb explosion aboard a city bus by keeping
Mm-hmm.
the speed above 50 miles an hour. This it's a great movie, man. Like,
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
there's
it sounds good.
it's a great movie, but this is a movie like Speed is a movie. It's like a it's
An event.
no, it's like a it's
Okay,
a
okay.
movie where Fargo and No Country they're more like films and whatnot.
Yeah, yeah, they're
They're
more a
kind
little
of
more.
so
Yeah.
I like movies, but I will watch the critically acclaimed stuff. But I love movies, and I understand why these movies are critically acclaimed and why they get Oscars and why they win. Because I'm like, there's a lot of thinking that goes on to this. Um, I was going to talk about Michael Bay real quick. I just wanted to say before I get it off,
Yeah, sure.
get off my head real quick. So he did. So here we go. Here's director, and then we're gonna go. Was it called The Rock or is it's just Rock? Let's see, 97. Where's it at? So it's Armageddon. Oh, okay, he did Pearl Harbor. And then Armageddon, The Rock. Yeah, it's called The Rock. Yeah, that's right. He did Bad Boys. There you go. I was like, because
Mm-hmm.
Michael Bay did some. He came out pretty good, and then there's a part where he ruined my childhood with the Transformers movies. And then
Shia LaBeouf.
I am a Shia LaBeouf
I
fan.
like Shia LaBeouf.
I don't care what anybody says. I am a Shia LaBeouf fan. Like I
He's
like that
good.
he had a resurgence too. I haven't seen Honey Boy, but I saw Peanut
I
Butter
like Johnny
Falcon.
Boy. Did you see Marriage? Not Marriage Story. That's Adam Driver. But there's this other one he
He
did
did.
this year on Netflix. It's like a home birth that the baby dies and during the home birth, and he plays the husband to the wife
I
that
saw,
lost the kid.
I saw the preview to
Pieces
that.
of a Woman.
Oh, that's what it's called.
Yeah.
Yeah, he had like a little resurgence, with the Peanut Butter Falcon and Honey Boy and all these
Mhm.
other great movies coming out. Did you see Peanut Butter Falcon?
I haven't seen that one, and I haven't seen The Father yet either. But I really want to watch The Father.
Yeah, dude, he's a great actor, man. And I don't care what anybody says, man. I'll back him up.
Yeah, I like Shia.
I'll back me up some Shia, man.
I like. Have you seen like his freestyles and stuff? Where like on YouTube he'll just be like in the woods, a bunch of people just like rapping,
No,
like and
I,
shit like that. He's really cool. Like,
well, I mean, I'm pretty sure the guy he can do a lot. That's why Shia LaBeouf. No, but I mean, he's actually really good. I think talented overall, and then the way he's like taking his health serious and just
do you remember the bag incident?
where he went to the red carpet and he didn't want to show
I'm
his
not
face.
doing this anymore. Yeah.
Yeah, like Futurama made a sketch about that. That's kind of funny. Like an actor that's
I like
he's too good looking. He can't see him.
when Trey Parker and Matt Stone they dropped acid and went to the
With
Oscars.
J Lo.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. And then they left halfway through for seafood. Which who
Yeah,
eats seafood on acid?
I don't know,
That
man.
sounds really fucking weird.
I mean, I don't know. I haven't tripped acid in a very long time, and mushrooms kind of give me the
I like mushrooms a lot more.
mushrooms I've done in the recent years, but
Yeah.
I think I haven't done acid I think I did when I was like 21, 20
Yeah,
years
I
old.
got burnt out on that shit, and I haven't done it in a long time.
No, I think I
But
tried it. I think
mushrooms,
it was one of those experimental drugs where I was like, yeah, this third time's good enough. I don't need to do it anymore. I think I did it like when I was like 20, 21, and that was it. And I think I remember taking like a sex ed class or something like that, a human developmental class, and remember reading the whole book in one night, but not retaining anything, but reading it, like going like reading the whole
yeah,
damn
yeah,
book, and not retaining any information. But it wasn't like I wanted to. The book was there, and one thing I remember was it was like 8 p.m. I just started reading the book, and when I finished, it was 8 a.m. And I was like,
yeah.
"Oh, the fuck did I do? Like, did I really just read this whole book?" I just, like, and I thought I was like, "Wow." But yeah, when I was younger. Now I'm too old and I got responsibilities.
Yeah,
Can't
yeah,
get too crazy.
yeah,
But I think well, you're still super young, so go ahead, you do you. You will learn more in your own travels than anyone else's. So let's see. That being said, I'm gonna switch over to No Country Dominant a little bit more because I'm gonna put
yeah,
it on
yeah,
because Fargo is playing. But man, I'm gonna tell you, I was like, I love this movie.
yeah,
Like it's like I said, I've watched it quite a few times, like just on my own on the regular, but I didn't watch it like I watched it now. And the fact that I was able to like really pick up on, I guess I've seen it over 100 times. And the joke is, I'm from Del Rio, Texas, where I'm at now, the border,
yeah.
and my cousins from West Texas. I got a lot of like half white, half Mexican cousins, and
Mm.
regular, just full blooded Mexicans in West Texas. I had a cousin call me one time after watching No Country, and I think I had just finished watching it myself. And I watched it at the Alamo Draft House with my aunt when it came out. And I remember
Yeah.
we drank a bottle of Pinot Grigio. I remember watching it, and this movie just kind of totally went over my head. And I was like, oh, I think because I drank, that's why. But I remember my cousin calling me and being like, "Hey man, you don't seen that No Country for Old Men?" I was like, "Yeah." He goes, all right, you're a movie guy. You need to tell something to Hollywood and tell them that they done messed up. Is Del Rio looks nothing like that."
Yeah.
And I was like, "It's a movie, man. It's a movie." And he's like, "No, man. They man they're gonna talk about Del Rio. Man, I grew up there. That's where you're from." I was like, "Yeah, it's a movie. Like they just like the name, I guess. They don't."
I looked it up. They filmed in Marfa.
Marfa, yeah.
Yep.
I think also
And then
maybe New Mexico, or was it all Marfa?
it was pretty much all Marfa from what I could find. And then There Will Be Blood was also shot in Marfa. And
That
some of it was in California on set, but most of it was shot in Marfa as well. And
that's
they
right.
were shot at the same time.
Yeah, Marfa in the late 2010s got in the early teens. It got really popular. People were moving to Marfa to make it
I've been
cool.
there. I got an Airbnb there on a road trip in spring break with my girlfriend, like last year. And so I've been through there, and I mean it's just hill country,
It's
desert, middle of fucking nowhere. I mean,
there's
you
nothing
know,
like there's nothing for
it's
people
West
to want.
Texas.
There's nothing there for people to want to move to. That's what I'm trying
Yeah,
to say.
no.
When everybody was like, we're moving to Marfa, and I was like, all right, get the hell out of Austin. Like,
Yeah, that's weird. I
I was
don't know
like,
where
a
you
lot of
would
people were
do what you
there.
would do there.
I mean, cause I guess it was affordable at the time, or it was just, but they were just trying to make it like a. I don't know how. I don't go through. I've stopped there. I've driven through there, but I don't like hang out there. Yeah, it just says here filming locations. What I'm picking up from IMDb is Las Vegas, New Mexico. Yeah, I remember Big Bend
Okay,
National
yeah.
Park.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
it's basically New Mexico in that area, Texas, Marfa, like West Texas. I mean,
Yeah.
literally when you're driving through, I've driven to California, to LA like 9 times, maybe more now, but I remember the very first time I drove out there, one of my older friends was like, "Where you going? You going to California?" I was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna drive." He goes, "All right, remember, he goes, I've driven there a lot. When you go to right when you leave Texas, make sure you have a full tank of gas, and then whenever you see a gas station, just get gas because there are no gas stations from New Mexico. They're from at the end of Texas to California, and from New Mexico and Arizona." And he's right; it's scary. They're like, I mean, there's gas stations, but they're just not on the main road. So you have
Yeah.
to like go like 30 minutes into town to get gas and come back. So it's I mean you gotta hope your GPS works. We chanced it twice. I've chanced it once and chanced it with someone else, and we made it. But man, it's like it's so scary. You're literally like out there in the middle of nowhere. Like it's country.
Yeah.
It's God's
Yeah.
country. So even this
It's like
opening,
yeah, the opening shot is about to say, yeah, with Bardem.
and
I think he's hunting.
yeah, Josh Borland.
Yeah, Josh Brolin. Josh
Yeah,
Brolin is hunting. Yeah.
but right before you get introduced to the Llewellyn character, you see the Anton Sugar, and he kills that
That's right.
deputy. He kills that deputy. He chokes him, and it's so many levels. And he says, "I got this under control," and he gets him. Like that's kind of ironic that they put that like on purpose. But then like
Yeah.
you see the boot marks from him kicking like crazy. Like
Yeah.
like
And then
I
the
think,
blood squirts later.
and then
The throat like takes time to rip, which it
and,
was cool.
and then him himself, yeah, it messed him
Yeah,
up.
his wrists were all cut up and shit because he was just like cutting his shit up.
And the thing about the first time I saw this, when Llewellyn dies, I was just like, well, so the hero dies? What? But he's not a
Yeah, but
hero.
he wasn't a hero.
He's
No.
not a hero. He literally got stuck in the middle of something, and he wasn't supposed to be there.
And he wouldn't remove himself from the situation.
Exactly.
And the thing is, too, is like when Bardem calls and he says it, he's like, look, like I can save your wife, but that's the best deal you're gonna get. Like I'm not fucking around anymore. And then he still decides to try to. I mean, I don't know. If I were that guy and Woody Harrelson just came to me and all these people were coming to me and they're telling me like this dude is, he doesn't give a shit. He'll go kill your wife and children and stuff. He doesn't give a fuck. Like at that point, I guess it's like, do you swallow your pride and just say fuck it,
Well, I also
But
think that your pride is a thing because it's like two badasses collide because they do have
yeah,
their fight, and
yeah, he shot him in the leg.
and it even shows you that what do you call it? Llewellyn doesn't back down.
No, he doesn't.
And that's you're right. I didn't pick up on that never till this time around. I was like, oh man, I think he got himself killed. And I'm appreciating the Javier Bardem his portrayal as Antor Chigurh. Like now he's just
He
some he's pure evil. Now when I
he's
see it,
so it's so cool because it's like he truly believes, he is like a mover of fate. He doesn't like, you know, with the whole coin toss and the way that life, but I love the contradicting, because there's the one part where he has the little run in the gas station with that old man, and they do the coin toss and the guy wins. Well done. But then there's a contradicting scene that happens in the end with Llewellyn's wife where she says, the coin doesn't decide, you
you
decide.
side, yeah, he's right.
And so that's contradicting the entire other scene where the coin was the deciding factor.
Well, she takes away the power.
Yeah.
The thing he that's getting him like I don't know if it's getting him off, but that's getting him like, hey, I have power. And when he
Yeah,
does that,
he
that's why he's like,
likes
oh,
that.
you're not playing the game with me. All right, I'm gonna kill you. And I know he kills her because he says it, but it wasn't until this time I caught it where I'm like, how do you know he kills her? Because he cleans his feet at the end.
Yeah,
You know,
he looks for his on the bottom of his boots for blood. That's
yeah,
how you know
because
that
he's
he
all
killed her.
and then you notice that too because when he shoots Carl
He puts
Wells
his feet up
Carson Wells, he
on
puts his feet up.
Carson
Yeah,
Wells. Yeah,
he
on
puts
the
his feet up.
bed.
And then yeah, he puts his feet up, and it's also like you see the Llewellyn in the beginning with the shooting the I guess the elk or the deer, he's going, and then he sees the blood. There's a lot
He
of this.
fe-
It repeats a lot. This movie, it's
Yeah,
pretty
there's
cool.
dog. Yeah, I thought that was super cool in the way that they did that, where he is following the blood trail of the deer, but then stumbles across a contradicting blood trail that's from the pit bull. And
Yeah,
so
and he's
that blood leads him to the bad, dope deal that had happened. But, it's because he was out there hunting and tracking blood that he stumbled upon it. It was very well set up.
yeah, and I think the fact that okay, so you said right now heads or tails, what would you pick? Because I die every time. I always pick
Tails.
tails. I always pick tails. So I'm like, damn it, tails, your tails. So we both be tails. So we both be dead. But what I don't get is we see Llewellyn start off shooting with a rifle.
Yeah, 30-06.
Yeah, why doesn't he set it up towards where he kills Shigon? Like he kills it, like sets it up where he puts the money there and lets him just picks him off.
Was because he didn't expect Anton Chigurh to be, because like the way that it all happened is he stumbled upon it, right, and then he took the money and then he went home, and then he decided to go back after he already had the money
Yeah.
and he had water. He had a water jug.
Well, that's
That's
thing.
when Chigurh rolls up with the other cartel bosses, and they run him away with. Or it wasn't Chigurh really that was there.
As the other
Chigurh
guys.
showed up later,
It is.
but
It is funny.
he
I
was
did.
kind of fucked. Like just the way fate had it be. He there was no staging it because Chigurh didn't even enter the picture until way after
Yeah.
he had the money, and
It is funny how I just keep seeing like these Mexicans running around. Like it's like, oh, a Mexican wearing a suit. Like people say that shit. Not, I mean, they still say
Yeah,
it.
the mom comments on it. It's not often you see a Mexican in a suit. They also said that coyotes won't eat Mexicans. That's what
Oh,
Tommy Lee Jones said in the beginning.
well, that's what he says, lobo, lobo, and he says, I ain't no lobos out here.
Wolves. Yeah,
Yeah,
but I don't think he meant wolves as far as animals. I think he's talking about like
oh,
cartel and stuff.
cartel.
Yes.
Oh, see, I'm learning again.
Yeah.
I mean, but even if you notice this, I caught this on. I mean, I caught it I think last time too, or whenever I watch it. But someone else comes back and shoots that guy because the
Yeah,
glass
either
is
they shot him or he died.
no. There's the glass is blown out. Like
Oh,
the
okay.
glass isn't blown out when he's talking to him, and then when he does talk to him, the glass is blown out. I mean, when he goes back, it's because
Yeah.
the water. He's like that. He has a conscious, and that's cool. It shows twice that he thinks about things. Like he doesn't just let it go.
Yeah.
Yeah, see that because when he comes back later to drop off the water, he sees there's a hole. There's somebody shot him. Somebody came back and just shot that guy. And okay, and now you also clipped you also connected something when Antoine Chigurh goes out there and asks for the tracker. He killed those are two.
He wastes his bosses. Yeah, he
Those are
just
his
shoots
bosses, right?
both of them. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I'm assuming they're his boss. They brought him out. You
That,
mind riding, bitch?
yeah. I think you're right about that. Now I never really understood that part. Now I do because it's starting to connect the dots to everything. He's basically
But then it makes sense though. He doesn't really even care about the money per se.
that's the cool part.
he's just doing it because that's what he thinks fate should have him do, kind of. I mean, that's how I
and
feel about it.
and you also turn on the fate too, because he's what do you call it? He's pissed off that they got more people. He's like, when you get the perfect tool, like he seems as
Yeah,
a sign
he
of
went in
disrespect.
and shot that dude in the face. That was awesome. Where all the shotgun bullets were like in the side of his face, and he had like a few in his neck with the
Oh,
blood.
The Stephen Root character.
Yeah, and
Yeah, yeah.
he's like, well, we felt that with more trackers, it would be done quicker. He's like, you don't pick you go with the right tool, not
Yeah.
multiple tools. And he was offended by their action to even have the Mexicans look for the money. So, out of offense. And I love the part where, because it really signifies how much of a ghost this man is, where he's like, who are you? He's like, nobody. Accounting. And then he's like, are you going to shoot me? He said, that depends.
Have you
Do you
seen my
see me?
face?
Like, do
Yeah.
you see me? Like, that's it. Like, and like, like he's not, when he crashes the car, he breaks his arm, he just gets up, pays the kid for the shirt and fucks off. He
I
has no name,
I
no,
sorry. I'm gonna say no.
you're
I
good.
picked up that ghost. I picked up that ghost. He wants to be a ghost,
Yeah.
and I picked up on that this go around for sure. Where
Because
I was
I
like,
feel like maybe they call him Anton Chigurh, but I don't know if that's his real name. I doubt that it is. When
yeah,
you're a killer like that, you probably don't have
yeah.
a real name.
He plays like I mean, even like when he shoots the bird, it shows you just a little bit of his
He's just
twistedness.
twisted. Yeah, he's just twisted for the sake of it. Like when he blows up that car just so he can get medical supplies in Mexico. He didn't
Yeah,
care if like a kid was walking by
yeah,
when the car blew up. His intent and purpose was, okay, I'll cause a distraction to get the medical supplies, but whatever happens to the people in the meaning, in doing so, like, fuck it.
yeah.
Even when Llewellyn got in that truck, when they're in the gunfight, that dude just gets a bullet through the neck, the driver, like
Oh
immediately.
God, man! And it's one shot. I'm like that would suck too. You're like, what are you doing? Get out of
Mm-hmm.
my car! Just keep driving.
Yeah, it wasn't
But
even his like deal, and he
what
got shot anyway.
when you talk about like the old the old like I guess slower people, like that guy gets killed. The guy in the like he just lets him put that damn prod up to his head, and
Oh yeah,
now
yeah,
I
the
understand.
Southerners.
Now I understand why he kills him, because like he saw him, right? So yeah, he can kill him, but at the same time, like why the hell did you just let that guy come up to you and just put it to your head? Like I would let nobody get next to me.
Yeah, it's weird. It was weird, but then remember, he's in a police car.
Oh
So
yeah, but even if
you have to assume that this guy, I mean, he's like an old Southern white guy. I mean, while yes, I probably wouldn't let someone put a cattle prod to my. I mean, you didn't know what that was though. You had no idea. It's just so random
if
that like
if
things
some
just happen
if somebody
sometimes.
came out with like a glowing stick and trying to touch me with it and looked like it had power, I'd be like, get away with that thing, you know?
Yeah, and
But
I love
also,
the part. Oh, or I'm so sorry. Go ahead.
no, I was like, keep on.
Oh, I just love the part where Tommy Lee Jones they're eating. He's like, so you got an entrant wound, but no exit wound. You telling me he went digging through his boy's brain with a pocket knife? And then he's like, well, I don't want to think about that, sir. He's like, well, neither do I. But it's
I
and then later on in the movie,
talks
he
about it.
talks about the prod that he's been used to killing people, but he doesn't know that is why there was no bullet in his head.
And then also the fact that Carla Jean calls him and he doesn't remember the story, so he made up that he goes, my mind wanders. So he made up that whole shit, and he was. I mean, the story might have happened, and he just kind of, but he was right on it. Like
What are you talking about?
when she calls him on when that part when he talks about the prod, the cattle prod, but he doesn't get it right. Like he's talking
Yeah,
about
yeah.
he's like, that part, he what do you call it, it's like he says, my mind wanders, but it's wandering, he's on the right trail, like he's working it out in his head, is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
He's on the right trail, but he doesn't do it right, or doesn't. He's just slower, and I get the whole
it's
I
all
get
the southern slow. Like I feel like it's definitely played into the script that
there is a part at the end where they're talking, and he says, green hair and a bone through their nose. I would never thought, when the sirs and the mams went, like
the money and the damn drugs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That to me, I was like, oh yeah, it's the '80s, and they're looking at it like it's because that's before like 1980. That's before the '80s became the '80s. All like what we
And the
perceived the
'80s
'80s to be.
The '80s was fucked up. This is really fucked up. Like, I
I
mean,
don't know.
all
I mean,
times are
I
fucked
think
up,
all
but
fucked up. Yeah, I don't think
yeah,
like this, but the way that they perceive the '80s to be like, and then me being born in the '80s, and then being like very young in there, and then like in the early '90s, like to me, I'm like, okay, I can see now when I look back, I can see the '80s trends because if you come out like the '60s and the '70s, the '80s to a hard shift, man.
yeah, they're different. They're different. And then
They go in.
the 90s were different than the 80s too. I mean, like, I feel like I was born in 99, so it's like I only can go based off of like things I know from the 80s or like were made or written in the 80s or this or that. But I could definitely tell like early 90s was more like the 80s, but I felt like as you got into the late 90s, things kind of started to take more of a shift once again towards this, like, well, the digital age happened and
Yeah.
then
So '80s, I'll say like somewhat like this. '80s, like definitely like '50s, '60s, '70s, '80s, they have like a decade feel. Where the
yeah,
'90s starts to break every 2 to 3 years is something.
yeah,
It's not shifted or it's just breaking. It's getting loose.
mhm,
2000s come, then it kind of shakes up a lot, and it's trying to go. It's the internet's here. Sorry, it's internet's here. It's going, and then you get the 2010s where it's like, oh, we've been here now. Now we're in the 2020s. We're trying to go and like
yeah,
do this. We're trying to live in the box like as much as
yeah.
possible. I mean, I don't care. I'm just playing the game. You
And
know.
I love Tommy Lee Jones' character and his whole seeking, like, it's like I don't know exactly what he was looking for. You never really get a clear understanding. I think he just wanted some meaning in life. Like he wanted like more of an understanding. But I
Well,
just
he's
love like the opening part where he just killed a 15-year-old girl and he's talking about that cat, and he didn't care. He said he knew he'd go into hell. Be there in about 15 minutes. And he just doesn't understand an evil person with just the intent of doing the evil action. He doesn't understand why
yeah.
someone would do. And even in Fargo, you get that question asked again when she's talking to him after the we failed to mention the wood chipper scene. And
Yeah.
the
Well,
wood
we
chipper
get to
scene,
yeah.
yeah. But like she's talking to him in the cop car and she's like, over some money,
Yeah.
and like cause you both you kind of get it, and it's just like, I think them trying to make sense of a world that just isn't meant to be that way, because I love the end of No Country for Old Men when he's talking to, I don't know if that's his friend. It's not his dad because his dad would be dead by
No,
that
I think
time.
it is his dad. I think he
Do
calls
you?
him Ellis. I think it's his dad because he calls him Ellis because they're both adults. Like he doesn't have to call him dad, you know. Like we're
I
our
just thought Tommy Lee Jones was already so old, and I was looking at this guy, and I was like, in
nah, dude.
age, I don't know.
Nah, dude. He's like he can be 90 or 80. You know, he could be Tommy Lee Jones in the movie could be 70, and his dad. Because remember, it's older times. You had kids younger too.
Yeah,
So it's not like I'm 34 when I was 34 when I had my kid when my kid was born. So I think the fact that like back then like somebody to be like, well, why didn't you have one when you were like 18, 19 when you were younger? You know, it's like, but that's
yeah.
back then. You know,
He
I
makes
think
a pot of coffee a week.
yeah, and
That's
even
fucking gross.
but even he says even if there's leftover, I'll make a fresh one. Like it's a, but as you get old, I think that's what they're showing time changing, and even the part where at the end where he even says like it wasn't you didn't get attention until you see a naked man running with a collar, but the graves in the
Oh
back,
yeah, that
digging
was
graves.
interesting. I like that. I like all these little stories. Yeah, because they were killing old people and cashing their checks, but they would torture them. And they said
Yeah, like
that the man only had a dog collar on, naked man with a dog collar. He said, I love the emphasis though. After he says that, he's like, digging their graves just wasn't enough to cause attention.
yeah,
Like,
that's like he's right because he's like if you're gonna steal somebody their money and kill them, that makes sense. But why torture them? He doesn't understand that
yeah,
part.
he doesn't get it.
He doesn't get that part, and I think that's why it's called No Country for Old. It's changing. Like there's a
Yeah, the
shift.
country. Yeah,
I mean,
it's
even like right now, what we're going through. I don't like getting too political, but like on social media, if you write something that somebody doesn't agree with, they're gonna.
yeah, yeah.
It's like oh, okay, like you're literally getting mad at me for some bullshit that eating you up inside that you don't know how to handle. And
What I always say about it, it's like if we can't laugh at ourselves, like what's the fucking point? Like,
I think that's like the best way to see it. But I also see a big issue with people who just want to laugh at other people. They don't want to laugh at
well, yeah,
themselves.
that's bullshit. That's
Yeah.
bullshit. But like the way South Park does it, like the way some of these people do it, where they're kind of when you make fun of everyone, but you're not. It's like they're not actually making fun of the people. They're making fun of the people that have a prejudice toward the people.
Well,
And
they're
that's and that's where I think comedy can really shine when they're
yeah.
just highlighting the problems in our society, but doing it in a manner that's very, it's funny, but you're laughing because it's true,
Yeah.
and that's the fucked up part of it.
But I think they tend to do more of the trends or the situations they make fun of. So it doesn't
Yeah.
matter. It doesn't matter if it's just you in the trend. Like there you go. I still not too long ago too. Up until I mean still not so long ago. I was like having conversations with like people or like I would say acquaintances, and they say stuff that South Park makes fun of all the time, and I'd be like, oh, you must not watch South Park. Oh, you must not get that. That's stupid to say.
Yeah.
Like we have a common knowledge that we don't say something. I don't want to repeat what it's gonna because it'll narrow
I
down.
get it. Yeah.
It'll narrow down the conversation. But basically, I mean, anybody like I don't know South Park. Did you watch the COVID one, the recent one?
Post COVID, the where they're adults. Have you seen the one where they're adults?
Yeah.
That's the newest thing. Yeah, I watched that too. It was hilarious.
We're in the future.
Dude, Cartman definitely just faked his whole life and became a Jew just to fuck with Kyle. That is 100% facts.
I brought this up I think I forgot what time I was talking about it, but I like the fact that they age them, but they all age like losers, like they're all
they're a bunch of losers, dude. And then they have all the old people in that skyrise, and they're like, "This is the future. Old people can't die." Yeah. And then, oh man, that's some funny stuff. I love the way they do some of their humor. They love the school shooting episode, the school shooter one, where Butters has the AR-15. He's a hall monitor, and they're trying to get to their test. And I think that's the episode where Token and Cartman thinks that Token hasn't seen Black Panther. Or no, he thinks he has seen Black Panther, but you didn't like it.
They're perfect, man. I like the fact that they work so quick though. They like go from like concept to
they do it like based on the weeks,
yeah.
like the week's news, like, and that's how they write every episode is that week. Whatever's trending that week, that's what they'll write about.
And I think 2020 paused them a little bit because of the pandemic, and I think the sensitivity that brought 2020. I think 2022. We'll see. I expect the same.
Jimmy Valmer, his jokes in the new one where he's like, "Man, I got a Polish haircut and talk about great service at an excellent price." They're like anti jokes. They're like,
they're like positive jokes. They're not negative at all. But I mean, I think the humor. I wonder, like you're saying, I wonder if somebody from Minnesota were to watch No Country and they get the Southern humor. Like
I think that's kind of true, because like when you step out of like where you're from, because like I know, like I'm used to a lot of Southern traditionalism and different things, Southern hospitality and this and that, but like Northerners aren't used to like those types of things. People aren't just like nice all the time and shit like that. And so like I feel like watching No Country for Old Men and being like not from the South, you'd be like, man, these people are fucking idiots. Like this guy is letting him put a pressure gun to his head. He doesn't care. This lady, like, just like, I feel like there would be this sense of comedic value in the fact that they're letting this man do essentially whatever he wants to them, and they don't ever question his actions.
Yeah.
Like, imagine if someone came into your office where you work and he asked you, where does he work? In 5 different times, but he says it, I don't know if you caught this, but I noticed it. He says it like in different tone, almost like he's like trying to impersonate true conversation because he doesn't really know how. Like it seems like he's trying to like figure out how to ask the question because he's so like removed from society and like such a an alien to human beings, to be honest, because he's so fucking brutal.
I get other things too, man. Like as he's like not only a hitman, he's also his own identity, I guess, where the other ones are a group, a cluster of people that are showing up places and shooting up the joint. One thing I picked up that I freaking got so like I went like I salivated was I had never noticed that right before Llewellyn dies, when he's at the Sunset Inn or whatever in El Paso. One, can you clarify this for me? The person in the pool floating, is that the girl that got shot, that was going for the beer?
I think it's the girl that was gonna, beer leads to more beer, yes.
Yeah, okay.
I believe that was her, because you hear like Mac 10 shots like from down the street, because you get someone's pulling up. I think it's Tommy Lee Jones is pulling up, and you just see the cartel truck just like peel out. And it's
So
like Javier Bardem didn't even kill Josh Brolin. That was not what happened.
and that annoys me that the mother is the reason he dies because she gave them all the
Yes,
information.
and that's another thing with these Southerners, and that's this point I'm trying to really drive home is like, when she's talking to these people, she's telling them so much information like immediately, and is very strange. And it seemed like they were all kind of like that. It seemed like the daughter of the mom was kind of like that too, and then like I don't know, you just kind of had these loose-lipped people that just like, especially because the cartel knew to manipulate, because they had the phone records or they had this or that then they knew
Well,
they were following them.
well,
And
she just gave it to him in a platter. They didn't have to manipulate her. He just asked
no,
her
no, they
straight
didn't
up.
manipulate her at
He just
all.
but it tells you how like she's the old woman nagging and crying and
Yeah,
always
I
like
got
doing,
the cancer.
yeah, like she was just, and it's like she's in that scene, and that lady's, I think she's from like Texas or
She's famous.
she's in a lot of Texas movies. And what do you call it? She like, yeah, she just complains and gives like, oh, and everything. It's just like she's not trying to be rude, and I've never seen a Mexican in the suit. She never has. She's
No, yeah, she didn't mean it in a sense of like racism. She really just meant like
I've
it's
never,
not common like for
yeah,
me to
like
see that.
and so like I don't know, for nowadays to still have that knowledge, to still have that kind of talk, like it's kind of silly when there's just so many things around you that you can kind of not influence you, but kind of show you different type of things that for you to like neglect it is weird. Like I don't know,
Yeah, it's like living under a rock.
it is. It's definitely nowadays, especially when you're like internet. What the hell need why? Like, that's kind of weird. Like now, I think nowadays it's too much. I think if you were like, yeah, my age, someone, I don't know. It's like I feel like the millennials, like the older ones, like myself. I feel like it's you can still kind of do that old man bullshit. But if you're gonna live an
Yeah.
old man life, but if you want to be
I
the young, you want to be a younger
Yeah,
person.
yeah, you can do that. Like if you want to be old fashioned, you definitely can. And
Yeah.
I think the South allows that a little bit. We're more tolerable than other places. I don't know if that's true, but that's what I would say. Like generally, like I live in Corpus, where the majority of people, this is a retirement, people retire here. So like a lot of old white Republicans live here. And yeah, it's pretty tolerable. Racism's pretty tolerable here. It doesn't bother many folks. I mean, I worked at the country club in Corpus, so I saw like some really fucking nasty shit because that's where the rich people go. They don't want to get talked about, but they want to act how they want to act, you know. And you hear some nasty stuff in here, and no one bats an eye. So, like, yeah, I mean, I think the South is more accepting of this traditionalistic lifestyle of like this old-fashioned
I
way of
I
thinking.
think also because we have a lot of land. So I think on the
Yeah,
East
we
Coast,
do. We do.
I think there's on the East Coast is
They
very
have more interactions
yeah,
with people, and they
so
see different types of people. I feel
so
like these people sometimes just don't get that exposure,
they
and they
don't.
don't understand that
What
it can be disrespectful, but they're not meaning to disrespect because they're simply just going off of their
Yeah,
small-mindedness.
well, not even. I don't want to say small-minded. I just if you're
Narrow, like you
if
don't
yeah
see a
if
bunch
you're
of
not
stuff.
because to me to be small-minded would be someone that lives in a big city and still acts like that. Like that's
Yeah, you're right.
small-minded.
You're not
So
small-minded. That was
yeah,
the wrong
I just
word.
think you're unaware. You're not exposed. You don't have the you're green in the eyes,
Yeah.
and it's still.
Yeah.
When I went to the East Coast recently, I went to Rhode Island, and I liked it there. I was like, oh man, they got classism here down. Like I'm still from the South. Like we got this stupid ass racism thing. Like
Yeah.
classism's great. Like they just look at you like, ah, you look like you have money. All right, I respect you a little bit more. It's like
Yeah.
we're here. It's like I don't care. You're in a suit, boy. You still. I was like, it's stupid.
Yeah.
But whatever, I don't care. Like I'm in 2021. I don't live in the past. Use the
Yeah.
past, use the history to help you out, but don't get stuck there and don't get caught up in the future and live in the moment. That's the way I see it.
Yeah, exactly.
And I feel like I think that when people think that the long draw and I don't know, I like this. I like the yes ma'am, no ma'am. I like manners. I like that.
Yeah, manners are good.
I really do. I do like manners. I'm trying to, my son does have manners, but I'm trying to keep that with him forever. So ingrained in
Yeah.
him that like it's important. And some people they don't care. Like when I lived in LA, like I hated it that people just smoke cigarettes and just flick them off, and everyone does that and stuff like that. Like people just like throw water bottles like literally on the ground. And then when I was in Austin, when I got back to Austin and people were doing that shit there, I started snapping at people. I was like, hey, this ain't I'd be like, this ain't LA. Don't be throwing shit.
Yeah.
How do you know it's from LA?
Yeah.
I was like, you throw your shit on the floor, man. Like you.
Yeah, they're all
Like,
a lot of from LA these days.
yeah. Oh God. Yeah. And I mean, it's it's whatever. I could go down that road, but to me, I'm just like, well, I like one guy. One comedian I saw, he did make a joke, and I was like, oh, that's a good joke. But he goes, I'm from LA, and you want me here because then this place wouldn't be Austin, it would be Lubbock. I was like, oh shit, that's kind of funny, but it's true, I guess. Like we're a little different, but I do like change. I do like things that come and go, and if some people want to be conservative and not move a muscle, then that's fine. But other time
Yeah,
still
yeah.
moves.
To each their own.
I think that's why
You
they
know,
keep the
because
land. That's why the land's still here.
well, it's
That
like
people,
people can deal with the repercussions of their own actions. I don't need to judge them because they're automatically portraying themselves as who they want to be. So,
yeah,
if they want to act any type of way, that's fine. They'll just have to deal with the repercussions of said actions, and that's as far as it really needs to go.
yeah. I'm finding out right now why I always have the. I usually keep the thumbnail up, and why Ben and I we can just talk because I'm looking at myself and I do a lot of things while I'm talking, so I'm not actually.
Yeah,
That's why I did that. So I don't. I it's weird. I'm getting a bunch of messages and my computer's interactive, so I don't have to be on my phone. It's technically a computer and your phone are the same thing these days. Like one's just
yeah, yeah.
bigger.
It's just a yeah,
So, and
yeah.
I'm like looking at myself like, oh, I see what I'm doing. It's kind of cool. So we do this thing called the repeat offender, and we have quite a few repeat offenders on. I don't know quite this episode. So we do have Garrett Dillahunt, which is Wendell. He is also in. We did Army of Darkness. Oh no, we did
Mm.
which we did Army of the Dead, and he's in that one. He plays Martin. We did Get Out, and Stephen Root is in that, and it's also he's the guy that gets shot in the neck with the
Oh, cool.
like so his name is here is Stephen Root as a man who hires wells. So that's the cool thing that they just keep adding more people. Who else did I notice that we have in Fargo? I noticed that there's a repeat offender in Steve Buscemi because
Yeah.
we did Billy Madison, and then I have a repeat offender with there was another character here that was a small role that was a repeat offender, but I can't remember off the top of my head. But I'll go through it later. Peter Stormare because we did Big Lebowski, and
Mm.
him and Steve Buscemi are in Big Lebowski. And let's talk about that wood chipper. We can go back to the conversation.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
kind of
that part is crazy. In the snow, it just makes it better because the shot is the white snow with the red blood just getting sprayed. And I don't know, it's just so strange because when he saw like the cop, he didn't even really like. I mean, I don't know. It's just the idea to throw someone in a wood chipper in the first place is pretty barbaric. And like I think we saw throughout the film, this man's like, what he would do to people, but like
yeah.
I think it was still shocking when I saw it the first time when Francis McDormand just stumbled. I don't like what the fuck would you say? I
Well,
don't know. I feel like you could shoot right there because
well, he's
he's
like, well, technically, I understand why she shoots him because he can't shoot him while he runs, and she shoots him in the back. But he did throw the log, so that's already an excessive weapon. So she can say like, but I'll say this.
he also had a body in a fucking wood chipper.
Dude,
Like
well,
that's
no, but he
insane.
didn't use. I mean, no, you can't shoot somebody unless they're trying to put you in the wood chipper, I guess.
Oh, okay.
But but like this, like so, I think the reason he thought about the wood chipper was because it was going to be easier to get rid of the evidence because it breaks it all up and stuff. But also, I think because it's always snowing, I think it'll
Yeah.
just get layered on top of the blood, and then eventually when it defrosts, it'll just run down or
Mm.
get lost in all the snow. I think that's where they were going with that. I'm making it up, but I'm
And he
thinking
he
that's where.
wanted pancakes. He only wanted pancakes and shit. Just like in the Big Lebowski, the Germans all order pancakes. I find
Shit.
it funny they have running jokes through their
Yeah.
films. But
Um, yeah, that wood chipper scene it is kind of graphic. Like if you see, I mean
Mhm.
the guts. That's I mean the limbs are one thing, but to throw like a gut and then see a head, if you put someone's head in there to just see it get all like that's messed up, dude. Like you're, and I don't
Yeah,
know. I mean he's a
he
foreign guy.
no emotion from him through the whole movie, which was pretty cool.
He holds it
Just in
like
the
that.
fact, yeah, he just was just
He
very.
he has a small scene in Constantine. He plays the devil. He plays
Yeah.
Lucifer, and man, he talks a lot in that movie. And but he's very crazy in that little scene. He talks a lot, but he's talking the whole time. But he's super crazy. Oh, real quick, back on No Country. The reason I think he doesn't kill the lady at the trailer park is because there's someone in the restroom, right? Is
Yeah,
that
there's
what?
someone else in the building. Yeah,
Because
so he didn't want to deal with killing her and then killing the other person. But yeah, he definitely thought about killing her for sure.
So is she the only one that's seen him and gets away with it?
From what I can understand, I believe so. I
Yeah. So
love the gore they have in those movies. They do great gore with his leg when he's operating
oh,
on
you're
his
talking. Yeah,
own
yeah. The
leg,
prosthetics. Yeah.
and then
Oh,
like Buscemi's face with the shot. Like they do great gore like in their films. And
yeah. He also does. What do you call it? They got lidocaine. Have you ever used lidocaine on you before? Have they ever used it on you for anything like the incision or make a cut?
no.
So lidocaine, I had to get a little like lipoma removed from my back and this little lumpy tumor I had on my stomach, and it was just
Mm,
on the skin. But so they use lidocaine, and it burns. It burns when it goes in, but then it numbs everything. I
yeah.
like the fact that when they show him get lidocaine and he's putting it in the syringe, and you're like, I'm like, hey, I know what that is.
Oh, that's
Like,
what that was. Okay.
yeah, so actually, it's like legit. Like, it's actually a legit, like, actual,
Yeah.
like
And he
a
puts
yeah.
the plastic stuff down before he takes the boot off so the
So
blood doesn't get. I also love when there's that part where he thinks he's going into Llewellyn's room, but the Mexicans are in there, and he shoots the Mexicans, the suppressed shotgun,
forget
and
honor.
then he takes the socks off. He wore the two layers of socks, so he was silent, and the blood soaked in the socks. And then he took the socks off and threw them in the bathroom, and then like left. So there's no footprints
Okay.
of blood, and there's no sounds that he made. Or when
Yeah.
he turns the light off in the hallway, so you can't see his footprints under the
Yeah, that's
door.
smart. That's smart. Yeah,
Yeah.
I got excited because he used the cow prod to shoot the
And it
log.
hit him in the fucking side, and it fucked his shit up too,
Yeah,
really
yeah.
bad. And then that kid, he wanted, and he's like, "How much for the beer?" He's like, "Just give him your beer."
Give
And
him a
then
beer, Brian.
I like the other end, the end of it too, where he's like, "How are we gonna split this money?" He's like, "You still got your damn shirt."
Sure, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, even like that, think about 1980, $500 is like 5,000.
No,
It's
I
like
think he gave him $100. I think he
no,
gave
no,
him a
the
hundred.
guy with the jacket, they give you $500.
Oh yeah, he
But
did give
yeah,
him $500.
so
Yeah,
I
it
mean,
was a lot of money.
man, they didn't even go through. They like, dude, I don't know. I guess they didn't even go through all that. Oh, but then you do find out that Carla
Who
Jean, which
got
is
the money? Who
she
got the
did,
money? I
she
think Carson Wells got it. I
no, he
think.
doesn't get it after all. Remember, he says, "I know where the money's at," and he doesn't. It's like because at that point he doesn't care about the money. He just cares about the dignity. So he wants to kill
That
Carson Wells.
scene was awesome.
And I think,
When he I love the where he's like, if the rule you followed in life led you to this, then what was the point of the
yeah,
rule?
yeah, it's
I
true.
love, like, he has very, like, I think the film hits on some very real, life questions. I like the end where the dad's talking about his dad trudging forward in the darkness in the dream,
Yeah,
and he had light, and he was carrying a fire to, and that just, it speaks to me a lot about, like, dealing with the darkness of the world, and his dad went first to kind of, deal with it before and light the way so that his son could have an easier,
yeah. I even say this like that last story. Oh god, you were just talking about it. I'm brain farting. Where
the
he was
camp
talking.
where he's
No, where he's talking
dreaming.
about the dreaming. I was thinking oh crap, right before that the scene. Oh sorry, no, I was going back to Llewellyn on the, I mean, and Carla Jean. She spends all the money. That's sorry, I was looking at that, but um. Anyways, sorry, I was thinking two things, and you said one of them, and I forgot. But she spends all the money. I think she gets it because she goes, "I already spent all the money, and we got bills still coming in." Like I think she, whatever money he gave her, she already spent it. And also because the mother
Yeah.
dies with the cancer, so she had to go through the funeral. Because she starts telling him, "I don't have any money." Like,
Yeah, I
and
don't know. I don't think she got all the money though. There's no
yeah,
way in hell, because it was like 2 million bucks. There's like a
yeah,
million
yeah.
bucks, so there's no way. She probably had like a small part of it. I don't know what ended up with the case. It didn't even really matter.
Oh,
I
even
love it
sorry.
that,
Okay, what?
or go ahead. No, you're
No,
good.
no,
Go
no.
ahead.
No, I was gonna say that with the at the end where he's talking, and he's retired, and that's when he's like because he's not obsolete. I mean, I think the whole thing is he feels useless, but he's really not. But he's just only
Yeah,
for that time. He's
he
not
just
upgraded.
it made sense to me in the sense that, like, I like the way he put it. He's like, I don't want to, push my chips forward and, take a risk and end up meeting something that I don't understand.
Yeah,
And that's
that's it.
exactly what he did, with Bardem. He met someone he truly just didn't. I like, in the beginning, he talks about some sheriffs didn't even carry a gun. Jim Scarborough never carried one. He's talking a lot about like this,
Yeah, that's right.
this, I don't know if Southern hospitality is even the right word. He's talking about sincerity in
or just
humanity.
respect.
This form of grace. But then when his dad kind of shatters his illusion of that in the end, when he says in 1909,
That's what I say
they
that one.
shot him in his doorway, and they watched him die there. They didn't care, or anything like that. Shot him through the lung.
Yeah,
Um,
that's what I wanted to talk about earlier. You brought that's that topic because that's when he notices that there was the Indians, the Native Americans that shot him, and then they waited for him to die. Like he goes, like in his head, I don't know why. I guess he was thinking they would help him, or at least like
And
there's
in
no,
the mind of the Indians, they aren't even in the wrong because these are the white people that
yeah,
came and like ravaged their land and took over and shit. So they don't really, there's no. That's the funny thing about that story is like, and just like in the story of No Country for Old Men and Fargo and all of it is there is no real like you don't find a single answer for any of this stuff. Like none of
yeah,
these stories are explained with like, oh, there was this piece and that's what put it all together. No. Like these
yeah,
are films that I think focus just on like the complexity of life and just like the uncertainty of like the future.
yeah.
And I think it's cool the way that they portray these topics because it feels very mature and like realistic to life and less like fictional.
It does, and I think it is about that whole like respect and that love, not the love, but the respect and like the honor thing where it's like it's gone and he doesn't like it, and he's just older, and the sheriff is just
Mm-hmm.
like man, I don't want to put up with this anymore. Like I don't want
Yeah,
to, yeah. So
just
the
like how Bardem with Carson Wells, he wanted him. He said you should just admit your fate. There'd be more honor in it.
yeah,
Like
yeah,
because
you're right.
he wanted the respect. Like that's what like
I don't know. At that point, I'm just like, you can't talk your way out. Like you already told him, like, why do you go to the room?
no.
Like, why? So at the end, when he tells him, it's kind of crazy that he went back to the scene of the crime. Who does that? And then now it's, I mean, serial killers are notorious for that. When they
Yeah, they're
kill somebody,
nuts.
yeah,
Yeah.
they go back and they're like in line, like they're actually being interviewed and stuff. But so when the sheriff goes back, is he at the wrong room or worse or does
No, he's in the right room, but I don't know if Javier Bardem was in there when he was in there. See, I watched that and I recognize this. I've seen this movie a lot. And
I'm still
in
confused
the
about that.
in the shots, they cut back and forth, right? You never see Bardem and Tommy Lee Jones like in the same frame. So it could be what they're hinting at is that he was there, but
Yeah.
he's gone now,
So he was waiting,
but
but he,
they cut it in a way like that's the only explanation I can think of. Or he didn't want to ice a fucking cop, because like
that's
he
true.
would know it's a sheriff and he's already at a crime scene that he didn't even kill Llewellyn, so it's not even his crime scene, and he's like the one person that never wants to leave any evidence that he
Yeah.
was ever there. So for
Yeah.
him to shoot the sheriff would kind of defeat the entire purpose of everything he's tried to do so far.
Yeah, I just see it too that the fact that he killed the sheriff in the beginning, but he choked them, and I
Mm-hmm.
don't think he cares, but I think it's too much. I think also we're not seeing that he didn't kill that lady because it's a little extra effort. I think maybe he was just propped up there. You're right. It was two different times, but they make it seem like it's the same timing. Because also I
I
was like,
also think he doesn't want the extra work. Like he kills people when it's in his
yeah,
benefit. Like it seems like he does like killing people. Like he gets there's something he enjoys definitely in the act. But he's like a calculated killer. He doesn't do things unhinged, whereas, he just like lets his emotions get the best of him, does something and then
yeah.
fucks up and gets caught. He never lets his emotions really like interfere with like his work.
So,
Like
and I was gonna ask you, do you think that gun is it real?
which one?
The suppressor?
The 870 with the suppressor, the shotgun?
Yeah,
Yeah, those are completely real. Fuck yeah, they're real.
because I'm looking at it right here, and it says the suppressor on Anton Chigurh's shotgun was specifically made for the movie. Such device did not exist, so the Coens invented one. Did they invent or was that thing
I
been around
think what
forever?
they're trying to say is that no device existed in 1980. So for him to have a suppressed shotgun in 1980,
Makes
that
sense.
didn't make sense. But I know that, yeah, there are suppressors for shotguns. That's
God,
completely real.
that's so scary. That is like someone just pulling up with you with a shotgun suppressor and blowing you
And he
away.
had a suppressed Tech 9 too. That's what he was
Yeah.
shooting
So
when he shot the dude in the neck.
the other but Llewellyn he picks up the gun from the guy in the
Hmm.
truck and he
Yeah,
never
he
uses it, right?
dropped it. He
Yeah.
dropped it when he shot him with the shotgun. He jumped and dropped his Tech 9. And yeah, he
Okay.
picks it up, but he never uses it. He
No,
just
no,
picks.
no. Talking about the first part, the guy in the because he pulls a clip from the guy's shirt,
Oh,
and
that was an MP5.
he drops that like we never
He
used
left
that
it
one,
at
right?
his trailer. He
Yeah,
left it
so
at his
that's
trailer. It's
right.
under his trailer.
Some kid's gonna find that. Nah,
I love
uh,
how he never gives any information to his wife. He never says like anything to his wife.
that
He
that's how we do it down in the South. You just show
yeah,
up, you
yeah.
do your
I don't
work, and you go
know.
home.
I don't know if that's what like they were trying to portray in that, but I thought it was very interesting, like their conversations.
But it's also like an older man and a younger woman. Like they like back then also like I'm the man, and it's like I'm assuming that
Yeah,
like he
yeah,
kind of had that feel. But I think we're coming down to like I was looking at some of the trivia and whatnot. But I guess we should get to scoring these movies because we can talk about them all day. And I figured this would be a better flowing of conversation because they're two movies that we came into like Red Planet and Mission to Mars. I put that on your plate and you did good. And now these are two more like up your alley. So it's kind of cool that
yeah,
we're able to diagnose these, diagnose or dissect. Sorry, is what I meant to say.
yeah.
But let's see, Fargo on IMDb rating got an 8.1 out of 10 with
Nice.
649,000 views or votes. And the Rotten Tomato, I don't have it ready. Let me get it ready real quick. The Rotten Tomato, let's see, 2014 Fargo, 2016, 1996. It's got wow, look at that. Tomato Meter Fresh got a 94, an audience score of 92. The Tomato Meter has 103 views, and the audience is 100,000 plus. So this movie talked about a lot.
Yeah.
They really want to talk about this movie. And let's see here. Let me get the No Country.
I believe it's their first film.
I think was it Miller's Crossing or is that Farley Brothers?
I'm not sure. I believe that the Coen brothers were originally they released Fargo first, but I may be wrong. I may be wrong about that. But
I think I mean it's easier for me to get confused there. I think Miller's Crossing is them. Yeah, they're for well, let's see. No, well, I mean for here producers here, they have this movie called Blood Simple, then Raising Arizona. So that means they have to write Raising Arizona.
Yeah, they did. Yeah, they did Raising Arizona.
Yeah, they did Raising Arizona, Crime Wave,
Nick
Simple.
Cage.
Yeah, Nick Cage. But directing, let's see. No, Miller's Crossing. They already had experience. They basically the Hudsucker proxy. I can't remember this one. Yeah, I like this one a lot. Yeah, I haven't seen this one in a minute. That's a good one. Also has Tim Robbins in it from the last episode.
I love Tim Robbins. Yeah, he's cool.
But let's see. It's got on the No Country for Old Men. Got an 8.1 out of 10 with 913,000 views. That's a lot.
So they have the same score.
Yeah. And let's see because I like to look up like how the how much money they made, especially back then. I look at this one.
Like box office. Yeah.
Yeah, Fargo $7 million to make because it's a very simple movie, and it brought in $60.6 million according to Wikipedia, and then No Country cost cost $25 million, but it racked in $171.6 million. Damn, that's a lot of cheese, man. I mean, $25 million to get the cough up just to make that movie. Dang.
Yeah.
But this one got on the Tomato Fresh. It got a 93 and the audience score 86. You have 288 reviews and you got 250 ratings. Critics consensus. Bolstered by powerful lead performances from Javier Bardem, Josh Brolin, and Tom Lee Jones, No Country for Old Men finds the Coen brothers spinning cinematic gold out of Cormac McCarthy's grim, darkly funny novel. This is not funny to me at all.
They did True Grit right about the same time that they did No Country for Old Men. I believe that's what followed No Country for Old Men with Jeff Bridges, because they had that Western phase kind of that they did those two.
Yeah, we did a Ballad of Buster Scruggs on the.
I like that one a lot. That's a cool movie. I like the way the main character talks in that movie. He's really like funny.
Well, a lot of it's an anthology or something like that.
Oh yeah, that's right. There's a bunch of stories. Yeah, but yeah, I liked the sharpshooter guy that was the beginning. Talked a bunch of shit. Yeah,
and he shoot it, and he still gets his because at the end of the day, he's like that guy. Even in that movie, spoiler alert, that guy gets shot.
Yeah, he gets capped in the head.
He goes, what does he tell him? Shoot when you're ready. All right, I'm ready. Just right away, like you know what I mean. He's like, well, you ready to go? Yeah, you shoot me when you're ready. Okay. He just he goes, oh, I did say that. Like. He's like that honor, like people start breaking that honor, and that's where people kind of dig into other people like, oh, you don't have honor anymore or respect. I don't know. I'm still like that in a sense, but I'm also about like, if you show me respect, I'll show you respect. You kind of have to earn it both ways. But
Yeah,
if
yeah.
I'm not being disrespectful to you, and I shouldn't be, but if I'm not being disrespectful to you, anybody, like, then I don't know, if you want to be disrespectful, go for it. But nowadays it's like very weird to see the what people find offensive, what people, it's just everything triggers, everything doesn't. People are numb, people are not. It's whatever.
I did
Um,
want to comment on the beautifulness of the blood splatters in No Country for Old Men. I believe
mm.
there's a shot in the beginning where he stumbles upon the trucks for the first time and he opens, I think it's the first truck door, and that dude's just like, he got sprayed inside of
Oh
there.
yeah,
And
he's all broken
he's like
up.
all, yeah, like all messed up, like in the driver, like
Ah,
floorboard seat area, and the blood looks like it's been painted onto the seat with just this cool, like,
I
oh, it looks so
I mean, you're
badass,
right.
man.
Even like the shots, the Carson Wells kill is pretty cool, and then even
Yeah,
the guy that gets shot like in the room where he shows his arm go all crazy, and then the
yeah,
other guy that
yeah,
gets shot.
yeah. The disfigurement was awesome.
How did that guy come out of the restroom shooting a freaking machine gun and misses? Like, I guess I don't
Yeah,
know. I guess my bullets go anywhere, but like that guy gets knocked. He gets shot twice, doesn't he? Like, or shoots him once.
I think he just got shot once in the chest, but it's a 12 gauge, like up
Yeah.
close like that, like you're
Oh,
fucked.
I'm actually on that scene. Okay, the guy that gets shot in the chair, he gets shot twice.
And then he
I'm actually
pulls. Well, I love that part because it what he's doing. He like pulls the shower curtain
to reflect
and
the
then shoots him so that blood doesn't get on him.
yeah.
That's why he didn't want blood splatter on him, so he used the curtain to catch all the blood. It was pretty fucked up. I was like,
Yeah. Oh
damn.
yeah. Yeah. That's. I mean, even like that. No. No. Like even that guy. I'd be like, dude. I don't know. This is like, being from the border. I had people like back in the day offer me like, you want to go, because even like where he walks across the border, it used to be like that. Now it's like a big old
Yeah,
fortress. And back in the day, some people were like, hey, you bring me across, I'll give you $2,000. I'm like, I can make $2,000. Like, it's one trip. Like, nah, I'm good. I can make $2,000. I don't like it'd be different if somebody offered me like $1,000,000. And I'm like, not anymore. Back in the day when I was a kid, when I was like 16, crossing over,
yeah.
some people would be like in high school, hey, I need some money. I'm like, nah, good luck. That's why I always like went over by myself and came over by myself. I
The
didn't want to
attention
deal.
to detail is really
Yeah.
crazy. There, like where
Yes.
he after that shootout, Llewellyn. I don't know if it's no, it's Javier Bardem's character. He figures out that he had dragged the money through the other
Yeah.
room, and when he goes and looks in the air vent, there's bullet holes in it
Right.
because
Like right after
they just
the
had
fight.
their
Yeah.
shootout. Yeah, so like there
Yeah.
were bullet holes in vent because that's what would have happened.
Yes. Yes. You're right. But let's finish off with this. Who takes the
Yeah,
money at the end? Because the money, there's a
I don't think anyone got it. I don't think anyone got
not,
the
not
money,
but
dude.
remember they showed the open up vent at the end.
Yeah, they showed an opened up vent, but I'm not sure as to what he was trying to hide. He didn't have
Well,
the money at that point, unless he went back and got the money from the border where he threw it.
yeah, he
But I
did.
know
He does.
Carson.
He comes out with it.
Okay, yeah. So
Remember?
Carson, that's right. That's right. He had the fresh pair of clothes and he went
Yeah.
and got the money. So that means that the Mexicans probably took the money.
That's
Unless no, because
Anton.
I feel like Anton got it
Yeah, because
because
he knew about the. That's what I'm saying. He knew
yeah,
about the.
the quarter was on the ground with the
Yeah.
screws. And
Yeah.
so that means that he probably got the money in
I
the
mean,
end.
it just shows like
And
the
you see
awareness.
him driving, he drives completely, he doesn't even speed.
Uh,
He like drives completely like law abiding, like
yeah,
in every
he
way.
doesn't want any attention.
Yeah, and then just boom.
All right, Cole. What do you think? What do you score these movies? What do you score Fargo? Out of a 1 through
Fargo,
13, 1 being the lowest, 13 being the highest cherry of the pie, and the 10 being a perfect movie, but 13 means more.
I would say Fargo, I would go with I would say an 11 because it's a perfect movie, but it also has this charm to it, and it there's nothing I would change about the film and the way it laid the whole setup and everything, the way it plays out. I really enjoy it. It's funny. It has some good comedy in it, and it's a great film. So I would say an 11. And then for No Country for Old Men, I would just I don't know, like I wouldn't say it's my favorite movie, but I could definitely give it a 13 as to like being, for the quality of what it is and how amazing it is. I would say yes, it's a 13. Is it my favorite? No, but I think there's actually quite a few movies that do hit that 13,
Yeah.
there are some out there that are
Uh,
just very
Dude, just watch some of the movies that I've never seen before. Like, I'll give some. I kind of hand them out. Ben's a little bit a little stingier with the points, and Mona is too. I'm more like, you get a 13, you get a 13. But I'll say this: you took the scores out of my mouth. I was gonna give it an 11 for sure. I was like, Fargo, I'll give it 11. You're right, exactly what you said. I think the fact that the attention to detail from No Country for Old Men makes it like a 15 in my book. I mean, dude, I've
Yeah,
seen this movie so many times.
it goes so hard.
I even have a story about like a good story about when I went to go watch it with my aunt, and then I even like I've watched it over the years, and now like focusing the way as a filmmaker, as just a film lover and entertainer, that's just watching it. I'm like even like I put more of my as an actor, like what how do you portray this line, and it's like perfect. Like they do have like the perfect characters for this movie. Like Woody Harrelson is a good
Yeah, I
little
love
like
that
day
Woody
trader.
showed up. We didn't really mention it,
Yeah,
but
you don't
what
need
do you
them.
mean day trader? What is that? Is he like a stockbroker?
Yeah, that's what basically he says. I'm a day trader, man. Like it's a stockbroker.
But he's
So
not though, because he's like a hitman.
I think he's a another. Oh, is he a hitman?
Yeah, because I mean, he talked about Anton Chigurh. He knew him. He knew his work. He was in that line of business because they
Ah,
hired
that's true.
him to get Anton. So he wasn't. He was a. I feel like he
Makes
meant
sense.
like I'm a day trader, meaning like
No, he's like
I can
lying.
walk away from this. Like
Oh yeah,
I don't have to kill you. But like
yeah.
Javier Bardem is not a day trader. Like if
No,
because
no. I
he
think
had him
I think sorry
like
to interrupt. I'm sorry. No, I
you're
think
good.
you're right. I think you're right. But I think what it is he says he's a day trader just to make it seem like he's out. He's retired. So like I think what I'm catching now is Javier Bardem, the Anton Chigurh kills Carson Wells because he's on his turf.
Yeah, yeah, because he was like investigating. He's trying to kill Anton, and so
Yeah.
Anton was fucking pissed. I mean, obviously,
Well, I think
and
he's trying to find his money. I think that's what he was trying to get to. And I think
oh, okay, okay. Well,
yeah.
I know because I thought though that because that guy with the curly hair that got shot in the face, there's a line where he talks about like you can take care of Anton. He's like, oh yeah, because he asked him like, what's the nature of him, and
I
he's
took it
like,
as a friend. I took him as a friend, not an enemy. Now it makes more sense if he's or like a like
he's not an
another.
enemy. Yeah, he just
He's
paid.
yeah, he's another assassin. Okay, it makes more sense like that.
Yeah, and that's why he showed up in Mexico and he told Josh Brolin to fuck off because he was
Yeah,
like, dude, like this dude's gonna go kill your wife in Odessa. He'll do like, and that's how he would know all this stuff is because he is also in that line of work and he
yeah.
knows who Anton is.
Okay, I get you. I get you.
Yeah,
All right. Well, let's see where we're moving to next. This is great. This is great. I saw like you. I saw it today, so I'm back to back. Little
yeah,
different order, but
we both did that. We watched them back to back. I just watched No Country first while you watched Fargo first.
yeah, I
We
watched
both
Fargo
did
first.
that this morning.
Yeah, I'll definitely do the older, whichever one came out first. Even if it's in the
Mm.
same year, if it came out a month before, I'll watch it. Even I don't know. I haven't had any come out the same day, so we'll see. But what do you think? Where you want to go with this? You want to go sci-fi? You want to go slapstick comedy? Do you want to? What can we pull from these movie characters, these actors, these writers? Like where do you want to? What other movies would you think that you would combine? Like because I feel like these are a little bit these are funny, but I feel like these are more on the serious note. So I
Yeah.
was thinking, what can we find? Where can we go with something that's maybe silly, super silly, or something that you think find silly, or something that, or we can go just a regular action movie if you want to just
I'm
watch
trying
it.
to. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm trying to think. There are some great dark comedies that are always like
Well, I'm not.
but
I'm trying to say like break off from that. I feel like these are the dark comedies. Let's
okay, okay.
break away. Let's do something else. Let's either do like a slapstick, like in your funny, like we did in Norbit and Nutty Professor, which I would comply. Can I say
Mm.
these are crazy like crazy ones. But we have a cast we can pick from. Any one of the cast members you think there was a movie that you like William H Macy, Frances McDormand,
William
Steve
H.
Buscemi.
Macy is funny.
If you
Steve
want to
Buscemi
if
also
you
has a
pick
lot
a
of great.
comedy from them, or I mean, like in No Country, we have. I mean, we could, like I said, we could also go action. I mean, we have Woody Harrelson, Josh Brolin, Tommy Lee
Yeah,
Jones.
Woody Harrelson, you can pull so much from
What
his
do you,
act or his titles.
let's pick on a Woody movie. I wouldn't mind picking on a Woody movie.
Okay, okay.
I'm already thinking White Man Can't Jump in the back of my head.
I haven't seen that one yet.
That's it. I think I want to throw that in the I want to throw that in the pot. White Man Can't
Okay,
Jump.
okay.
I would like
All
to
right, all
rewatch
right.
that one.
All right,
So
then we'll do that one and
and then
then
since we're sticking with Woody Harrelson, let's see what other movies we can pick from his long freaking career. Let's
man,
see.
his
That's what.
best work. I thought his best work was the True Detective season 1 with him with Matthew
Matthew
McConaughey.
McConaughey.
Oh my god.
I still haven't seen the whole thing, like, but everybody talks about it the way they talk about it. I'm like, ooh, nice. I haven't even seen the new Venom. I need to go watch that one. He's in it. So let's see. What do we got?
Yeah,
So we're watching something old
sadly.
from him. We did see him in this. So he's connecting us to the new. Do you want to see? Let's see. I mean, he's I know him from the '90s and a bunch of action movies that were kind of
Hmm.
silly. He also was in a movie called The Cowboy Way, which is another like a dark comedy, but it's kind of like his same character he had kind of in this one as a Carson Wells. But let's see, he's in Doc Holliday as Hank. Let's see what we got here. So yeah, Money Train was the one I was talking. Oh, dude, let's do Kingpin.
Okay. What is that?
Oh, you know what? That's what Ben wanted to do. I don't know if I want to ruin this one for Ben, but
Oh, it's
Kingpin,
fine.
Kingpin is the one where he's a bowler. He plays the main character, and it's a Bobby and a Peter Farley.
Oh yeah, I love Chris Farley. It's so funny.
No, it's not Chris Farley. It's the Farley brothers. They did like Stuck on
Oh okay.
You.
Okay. Oh
They
okay.
they
Okay.
done they done man, they're not sorry, they done a lot more movies. That's a Kingpin is a goofy. It's definitely gonna be like a something about Mary kind of style movie. I don't know if you want to watch that because the one the White Man Can't Jump has more of a what do you call it? Well, I didn't realize that he's in two basketball movies. He's also in Semi Pro.
Yeah, Semi Pro. We could watch Semi Pro because that movie is hilarious, and I would love to talk about Semi
Yeah.
Pro.
Okay, we're watching two
Let's
basketball
do that.
movies
White
with
Man Can't Jump,
and
and
apparently I saw in a Semi Pro. Apparently Woody Harrelson can ball too. So
have you seen the Semi Pro? Have you seen that one?
oh yeah, that's funny.
Fuck, dude, it's
So,
so funny, man.
all right, so side by sides, moving on. I believe it was like episode 59. We're going to be doing Woody Harrelson, and that led us here to White Man Can't Jump, 1992, rated R, 155 minutes. It is a comedy drama
Jesus
sport.
fuck,
Black.
2 hours 25.
Oh, dude, we did Wyatt Earp. That's a 3 hour movie, and we did Casino. That's a 3.5 hour movie.
Yeah,
Black and white basketball hustlers join forces to double. I mean, I guess for this movie it shouldn't be that long, but yeah,
yeah, that's what I was saying. Is for the
yeah,
film, honestly.
yeah. Black and white basketball hustlers join forces to double their chances of winning money on the street courts and in basketball tournament. Director Ron Shelton, writer Ron Shelton, stars Wesley Snipes, Woody Harrelson, and Rosie Perez. And
I
then
love Wesley Snipes.
we're gonna put that next to Semi Pro, 2008, rated R, 1 hour and 31 minutes, comedy sport. Jackie Moon, the owner, coach, player of the American Basketball Association's Flint, Michigan Tropics, rallies his teammates to make their NBA dreams come true. Director Kent Alterman, writer Scott Armstrong, and then stars Will Ferrell, Woody Harrelson, and Andre 3000. Oh, I'm
Yeah,
looking forward to this.
Andre 3000. Yeah,
I'm looking forward to this episode. This is a this is a great one because of Woody Harrelson. Almost, I think Ben, if you're watching, I know you're watching this because you're gonna watch it. So Ben, I'm saying Kingpin for you. So we'll get there because Kingpin. I think Ben's brought it up a few times, but we went opposite. But now
yeah.
we're here at because you could also we can find a way to get to Kingpin. There's so many ways to get it. And now that I'm looking at the semi pro on IMDb, it shows the poster and then it shows like the play trailer and the thumbnail they have for the trailer is Will Ferrell's body covered with the. I can show you real quick. This is dumb. This is silly. Before we head out, look what
I
I can do.
love Will Ferrell.
Look what
So
I can.
funny.
Look what I can do. Look what I can do. Let's see screen share, and then we're gonna go. Here we go. Look what it's showing. Look at this.
Is it his "Love Me Sexy"? Yeah, yeah. Oh man, I love it, dude. That's one of the best. Well, I like Will Ferrell a lot. Like all his movies, I think or not
Uh,
maybe not every movie he's done, but Will
have you?
Ferrell as a comedian, we're so blessed to have him.
Oh yeah.
Uh,
Have you seen Night at the Roxbury? Not
no,
the.
I haven't watched that yet. I have it on my list. I
That's a
just
good one.
haven't seen it yet.
All right. Well, we got some movie watching to watch, and we got some movie talking to do. So
Yep.
let's close this one up, and then we'll move on from here. So
Alrighty, man.
anything you want to say to our listeners, viewers?
I've just been having fun, doing it, and I'm excited for next week for our next show. And I was glad that we got to do these movies because I love both of these. So it's a lot of fun to get to talk about them.
Yeah, they are, and I mean, I don't know if I mentioned it. I think I did see. Oh, and I jumped ship real quick. I did want to say that in the No Country for Old Men, one thing I got super excited that I never caught before was the scene where he's talking to the lady at the beer lady. Beer equals some more beer.
Mm.
There's a shot of of Llewellyn. He's there looking, and it's like a mid shot, but it gets the background in the hotel. You see the cartel truck pass by. I never seen that before.
Mm.
I don't know if you caught that.
Yeah, I
It's
don't know. I'll
the
have to when I watch it next. I'll look close.
right before it leads right before they close off the scene. You see the truck pull back, and I was like, oh, I've never seen that before. I don't know how I
Mm.
caught that. I just because it's that black truck, the like the Ford. It shows
Yeah.
it. But yeah, we'll leave it with that, and we can talk some more because I also want to know how Anton Sugar was such a badass when he gets in a car accident, breaks his arm, and just keeps walking. Like he's like, oh,
Yeah,
dude.
he just didn't want to get caught, man. I
No,
feel like in that scenario, you'll do anything not to get, I mean, being that guy.
yeah.
Like, fuck.
And it even shows you and I think let's end it with this note. I think it even shows you No Country for Old Men that he's even might not even him getting dated, but the fact that they're like the kids are like, oh, my neighbor called the cops. Don't worry, you'll be here. And in that instant, it showed like everybody started showing up, like the police and everything, like a ambulance. You could hear them. So he's like, oh crap, I better move.
Yeah.
It's showing how quick. Like before, because it was such a slower time. Now time's catching up a little bit. So now he's like, oh, you can call 911. Cop will show up like that, or you can get the ambulance there. So, anyways, we will sign off now, and well, everybody, thank you for listening.
Yeah.
Have a good night. Peace.
Yeah.